we're back. Okay, so that server's down. Jesus.
Don't hop in the server, Chris. Wait.
No. Okay, race one will be starting soon, ladies. Race one will be starting soon, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had a bit of an issue here with our streaming software, and the server was playing up, so we feverishly working behind the scenes to get that sorted out and fixed. It looks to me like everything is ready to go now. So, let's join the server again and see if we can get some action here for race one. Sorry to everyone at home for that bit of that bit of technical issue. We've got technical difficulties out here. We've got
Server issue there, so apologies about all that. We have to restart everything. But we're back. Our dulcet tones of voices are just entertaining you and soothing you into your lounge chairs, or you drink a cup of tea or a nice sherry, or maybe a cab sav, or whatever beverage of your choice. Even maybe Nature's Best, the old H2O. Who knows?
I thought you were going to say VB then.
Oh, look, VB
Nature's
is the very best. Victoria's best, exactly. Yeah, unfortunately in the desert you wouldn't survive on VB, but it is the Nature's Best. That is man-made for sure. And look at those cars, Chris Munro. Boy, are we excited. This is going to be a hot race one. 15 laps coming right up, ladies and gentlemen. If you are hungry for racing, you are going to get it now, and you will be full after race one. And we're just going to give you seconds and thirds because there's another race two and then a race three, which is the long 55 lapper. And our helicopter pilot is just doing some awesome stuff tonight. Seems to be shuffling left, right, and centre as we speak. Just zooming in, zooming out, hovering as we go. It's just a beautiful looking grid nonetheless. Hopefully we are back on the front of the grid some way soon. Chris Munro, he's the chopper pilot's just having a few too many bevs as of late, I would say.
This unfortunately is not the helicopter. I am just in free cam, and for everyone that's followed the channel for a little while, you'll know my free cam skills are absolutely rubbish. But we're going to try and do a little fly down the grid here. We've got Wilson on the outside, Newing kind of perfectly placed there. He's only about 30 centimetres behind Wilson there on the grid, and will have the inside for turn two. So that's an interesting grid positions there. Matt Cotter and Ryan Hawkins on the second row. Nick Mello and Adam Betts are off the third row. We've got Marsden and Grant off the next one. And, this thing is out of control. Garrick and Ferguson, a couple of Volvos there. With Claypole and Sharp behind them. We've got Pierce and Brian McFadden's cousin, as we say. Clayton Pine in the 888. I forgot to get his livery sorted out. I am so sorry, mate. Chan Jankos on his inside. Brad Turby and Steve Scully back here as well with Lancaster and Waters. Guy Duff, Blake Rankine and Mr. King rounding out most of them. And then we've got a latecomer to the server. That is Riley Price. So he will start on the bend back there in Recaro corner. So we're going to make our way up to the front. I might go on.
Good looking corner that. It gives you a perspective of actually how much elevation change is actually on the last turn of this Oran Park circuit, which is the leading corner down to the sweeper and then into Coca-Cola Turner. That Coca-Cola corner, that is where all the drama is going to be, I would say, here at this time. Yeah. Although Foster's Dip, which is the little left to right in the middle of the track, that is also on camber, off camber. Plenty of runoff there, no runoff on the curb, so it's just going to be a crucial place to actually get everything right to set you up onto Momo Corner and then through the dog leg into Recaro Corner. So, whew, it's going to be spicy. I can't wait. It's going to be one of those beautiful races, I would say, spectacle-wise. So sit back, ladies and gentlemen. We've only got 20 seconds till a lights out, and I can hear those engines starting to rev. People are giving them a bit of a limmy bash, so to speak, and it'll be flicking it into neutral and then clutching down, or just full neutral banging it, whichever way you go about it. We're only 5 seconds away. Chris Munro, take it away.
We have got all the lights up on track. We're going to get a better position here, ladies and gentlemen, for the race start. And they are away, and it's a very, very even start between the front two. Wilson's going to be high and dry here by the looks of it. Luke Newing in a bit of no man's land there, but looks like Wilson has just got his nose in front and will go around the outside. Just dices with death on the outside there. It looks like everyone's got through cleanly. Wilson will take the lead here in the race with Luke Newing. Ryan Hawkins getting up the inside there. Matt Cotter having a bit of a moment, just getting off the track, but he gets back on again. No harm done, no harm fouled, and it is play on as they all bunch up here for Shell Corner there. The right-hander as they come up through the field here. It looks like James Claypole's making headway through the pack. They're very tight racing here at the moment. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It is nose to tail all the way through. Matt Cotter having a bit of a shocking start there. He's dropped back a little bit, but he has got Nick Mello in his sights.
Now, man, Adam Betts has had a shocker as well. He got spun around at turn 4. Unfortunately, he's sitting on the infield at the moment, so that's a shocking start for our biscuit man in the Ora livery, but what a start from Tom Wilson. He's danced up the road to nearly 0.6 of a second. Will probably be a second by the end of the lap. But James Claypole having a look at Andrew Ferguson there. Geez, don't get too close, champ. And he's going for a move down the front straight here, which he might get a little bit of suck, but he's too far away at this point in time. Everyone sort of got through pretty well for the first lap here at Oran Park. Better than we had our money on, ladies and gentlemen. And it's Linus Stern coming on to lap 2. It looks pretty spicy out there. James Claypole going defensive already, so that's good to see. But Brody Sharp behind him, pounding him in that blue Calsonic Nissan. He's also all over the back with Brian McFadden's cousin, also having a fair crack in that Red Bull Commodore. Clayton Pine's going to want to join the back of this train of absolute fiends at this stage, because anyone makes a mistake, he'll dance all over the back of him and take a couple of positions, Chris Munro.
Yeah, it looks like Scotty Garrick just having a bit of an issue up there ahead, but he seems to slot in again behind Andrew Ferguson, so he's had a bit of an off there somewhere. Looking up forward through the grid there, Matt Cotter is on the back of Nick Mello as we speak, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car train is too sexy to look beyond here at the moment. These guys going hard. Brody Sharp has made his way around Brian McFadden's cousin. It looks like Pine's going for a move up the inside here. Gives him a little bit of a bump, something to think about. McFadden loses traction on the exit, and that will sacrifice him down the whole straight. Pine makes that position up. He's into 12th position.
Matt Cotter's just done the 106.1 for the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's locked the brakes coming into turn 2. I'll tell you what, Nick Mallow would have shut himself in the rear view mirror there, seeing locking brakes and a ZB coming up his arse. Here we are at the moment. This is going to be a cracking battle for sure when we come down to the later stages of this race. With only 12 laps to go, we're nearly already done already. But, geez, this is really good racing. Everyone's on the soft compound, ladies and gentlemen, just if we didn't know at home. So this isn't super soft racing. This is tiptoeing around here for the first lap and a half, 2 laps, and then the tyres come up to temperature, and it's on like absolute Donkey Kong there for everyone. As Lockie Grant goes off, he had a second and a half between himself and Ferguson behind him. He's going to lose 3 positions, maybe 4. He will. He'll lose. Brody Sharp will be the last one to come through. That's an uncharacteristic error by Lockie Grant. His teammate Harley Marshall hasn't been around this season for the most of it, so he's on his lonesome at this point in time, feeling the pressure for the Mobil 1 racing team at this stage, but he'll regroup. Matt Cotter's got the suck now on Nick Mallow. Is he going to take a move up the inside? No, he's not. He thinks better of it, and that will be an expensive move if any of them get it wrong. And he's going for a dive up the inside. Yes, Mallow's ran wide, but that's going to put Mallow on the inside for turn 3. So line astern again for Matt Cotter, unless he does a switchback. Is it on? No, it's not at the moment. Wow. Brilliant racing here by the both of them, giving enough space and room, but momentum is all about Matt Cotter at this stage, Chris Munro.
Yeah, he's just searching for a way past, filling up Nick Mellow's mirrors at the moment, trying to force a mistake here, but I tell you what, he won't sit back too long and wait for a mistake. He will certainly make his presence known back there. He's not one of the guys you want to see in your mirrors, that's for sure. on the more aggressive side of things is Matt Cotter. So you will certainly know he's back there, and I bet you Nick Mello does at this point in time. Probably searching for a bit of grip with these super soft tyres now 4 laps in. They're probably nice and up to temperature, up to pressure. So we're going to see the lap time starting to tumble, as we do here. 106.1 from our leader, 106, pretty much 106 flat from everyone there. A 105.8 from Stephen Marsden. Andrew Ferguson actually posting the fastest lap of the race.
Off.
There goes Mello. I wasn't watching at the time. I didn't know if there was contact or not.
It was not. It was an unforced error for Nick Mello. He's locked the brakes coming into turn 2, and that is very uncharacteristic, but very easy to do at this track. He's going to be spewing. He's down at 11th as Lockie Grant goes past him. Hopefully he can regroup for race 2. The finishing positions of this race is where you start race 2, mind you, so he'll be spewing at that. Guy Duff is also losing a position at the moment in 18th. He's in the spot of his life with Steve Scully at this point in time, and Bradsky Turvey is also coming into the back of this battle, we hope, because he generally has a beautiful fan base on the YouTube channel, so we're looking out for all his fans at this point in time. But what an unforced error for Mello. He will be absolutely spewing. But in saying that, Tom Wilson hasn't galloped away as of yet. Luke Newing is still only half a second away, and Ryan Hawkins, our silent dark horse here at this point in time, sitting comfortably in 3rd. He's even closer to the back of Luke Newing, so that is going to be a spicy 3-way battle for the lead, as Brian McFadden's cousin is having a look all over the back of Pierce. Pierce will be wanting to sharpen his knives and just get the defence up at this stage, because Jason tends to be a very good mover under brakes. We have seen in the past him do that. So keep your eye out, Pierso. That's for sure. Chris Munro, I got no breath.
Yeah, absolutely. McFadden just locking up into turn 2. We've seen a few cars having that issue there down into turn 2. A lot of smoke signals coming from that end of the track. But he seems to have gathered it up, and Pierce has returned the favour with a bit of smoke of his own there into Shell Corner. So McFadden right up on the back of Pierce again as we speak, as we go across the Yokohama Bridge and dip it into this fast right-hander. We're going to get an on-board look here at how Jason McFadden might try and set up this overtake. He's got Pierce in front of him. He might have to... Yeah, Matt Cotter is... off the track
into
again.
3rd.
Yeah,
no, he's not. He is past Ryan Hawkins. Ryan Hawkins has given up the position, and he will be right on the tail of him at this point in time. That was a move for 3rd position, ladies and gentlemen. And now Cotter has been released. He's got about a second between himself and Luke Newing, and that battle at the front is now very tight. Tighter than a bloody Greek's pocket at this point in time. He won't be giving up the cash at any stage. But it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be seeing some battles here to the end, I would say, Chris Munro.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of your best work there. Zach O'Reilly, we've got the battle for the lead is on. Luke Newing is right up behind Tommy Wilson at the moment. He's let that... Tommy Wilson has let that lead that he had, that gap, pretty much disappear now. That's back down to 2 tenths. There's a car off the track in front. That's Blake Green-Keen. Will he do the right thing here and get out of the way? He does. It's perfect racing there from Blake. Absolutely good stuff to see. But that's given Tom Wilson a little bit more breathing room. I think Newing saw that car off and just sort of let off the throttle a little bit. But, he's deep under brakes there. Somehow has got it stopped and gives it a big spray on the exit as well. Very stylish stuff from Luke Newing. Probably not the fastest way around the track when you're that sideways, but it's good to watch nonetheless. Hawkins now just trying to do his best to keep up with Matt Cotter. It's just not happening for him at the moment, so he's just going to put his head down and work on his own pace, work on his own rhythm, and just try and hold on, because in the foreground we've got, in the background we've got flat-packed racing as Marsden and Ferguson have both carved their way through this field up to 5th and 6th respectively. Absolutely good stuff from those guys. There's nothing happening up the top here. I'm just getting distracted by the timing tower doing funny things, as it does sometimes here on the 8K Racing channel. Out in YouTube land.
Absolutely.
8 laps, 7 laps to go.
Yeah, got 7 laps to go. We've got a fan my trademarks literally all over the Nissan Altimas. He's making love to the exhaust pipe, I would say, if he had one. So keep an eye out for that, domestic charges, ladies and gentlemen. But this battle at the front is now heating up, because now Luke Newing is under pressure. He's made a couple unforced errors, and Cotter is all over the back of him. And that is going to be possibly a move if Cotter is very aggressive, which he generally is. But maybe another unforced error as Newing goes defensive with the line. And now the switchback's on. But no, Newing's got a very good line through there under brakes. But he's run a little bit wide, and Cotter's got the momentum. But there will be that defensive defensive line as we speak. And Cotter's gone for the send. There we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Express Post Australia literally has just gone straight under. He has sent that harder through there than I've seen him before. That is a move for second place. And now Thomas Wilson will be watching that timing tower of his lap cars just get away very well again. Now, is it going to be a clearance race here for Matt Cotter and give him some breathing space? Only 5 laps to go now after this one. But Luke Newing will also be hoping to keep his position, because I'm sure Ryan Hawkins will be wanting to redeem himself from that move by Matt Cotter to take his position, and find himself in 4th at this stage. But Wilso will be checking his mirrors and looking for that grey ZB, getting ever closer under brakes and squirming as we usually see from Matt Cotter.
Yeah, absolutely. As Newing just gives the outside wall a little bit of a slap on the exit there. You don't want to be doing that too many times for running the risk of bending up your rear axle or something like that. That could be a race-ending injury there. Thomas Wilson, he's got 5 laps to hold on with Matt Cotter, who has just been on an absolute charge this race after having a bit of a sketchy start, a bit of an adventure off the road as well. But he seems to have gathered it up, and he's made a couple of cracking overtakes so far, and he'll be lining up, and he just wants to make one more overtake in this race, and he's got his eyes firmly set on the back of that green Nissan Altima as we speak. He's got that gap down to 3/10.
Absolutely. This car, geez, generally it has more angles on it on the racing line than a what do they call it, a protractor. And he literally just loves to slide that car around left, right and centre. It's good to watch, and somehow he makes it quick. It's very aggressive, very Shane Van Gisbergen-like, but we're not Mark Scaife or Neil Compton here, so we don't fang on about one person for the whole race, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. But Wilson is now very much under pressure. That gap is under half a second, only 3/10 between them. It'll probably be 2/10 by turn 2. And it is now on like Donkey Kong as he sets the fastest lap, Matt Cotter, with a 1:05.1. That is very quick, and he's quick under brakes too. He goes up the bum of Tom Wilson there. Hopefully no damage done to either of them. And it's race on here with 4 laps to go. But the momentum again is just setting all Matt Cotter's way at this stage. He's done well to keep those tyres in very good condition so far.
Yeah, we might see a bit of strategic driving here from Tom Wilson as well. I know I'd be just trying to back Cotter up into that traffic behind with Newing and Hawkins closing in as well. If he can do that might just distract Cotter enough where Tom can just start to push again in the later stages of this race and build that gap back out to something unassailable. But at the moment, it's sitting pretty steady around 4/10 as Luke Newing goes off the track there. But we're going to check back in to these guys soon as Nick Mello is up behind Brody Sharp. We saw Nick Mello come a bit of a cropper there earlier on. But look out, this gap is now under 2/10. Matt Cotter right on the back. Thomas Wilson going defensive. I don't know if that's the best way, because it will go around the outside. He'll look for the switchback up into turn 2. Wilson goes defensive. He's all over the back of him right now. Nose to tail, and here comes Luke Newing. He's chimed into this conversation as well. That's something to think about for Matt Cotter. And you think, oh, none of the guys going defensive around this turn. Oh, a little bit of a contact there from Newing to the back of Cotter. That stunted his momentum heading towards Champions Curve. They all get turned in and up the hill to the bridge for the third last time. Goodness gracious me, they were right close to each other there, Zach O'Reilly.
Wow, that was very close indeed, and we see that aggression from Cotter, but also Luke Newing wanting to take advantage of any situation. If you don't take advantage of a gap that is there to take, then you aren't a racer. So very well done to them both, and all these guys are now evenly gapped, 5 or 6/10 between them. But Wilson's pressure gauge has just gone down a little bit so far, but we seem to see that Cotter is very strong in this last turn. He's got that absolutely dialed in there perfectly, and he seems to gain a tenth nearly every lap, just in that corner alone. So it's on like Donkey Kong for sure for these last 2 laps. It's just going to either something really big's going to happen, or we're just going to see something really clean. But the temperatures and the hands will be very sweaty at this stage. Hopefully they've got a Alcantara steering wheel. If you have a leather one, you're in a bit of trouble. Yeah, it should be slipping and sliding underneath your hands, or hopefully some gloves for these guys, because I'll tell you what, it does get sweaty, not just in the commentary box, ladies and gentlemen, but in the cockpits of these guys' rigs at home. I can imagine there'd be a fair few air conditioning units pumped right up today, as it's been pretty hot around the country at the moment. As Matthew Richards in the chat says, Marsden has just set the fastest lap of the race. I did miss that on our screen, but that's a good sign for flat-packed racing.
with these guys setting fastest laps of the race, 13 laps in on old softs really. That is very good and positive stuff to come out of that garage today. Those guys sitting 5th and 6th respectively. Looking up and down the order here, all the gaps are pretty close. We've got McFadden on the back of Dan Jankos. And these guys are fighting for 12th position at the moment. Oh, McFadden, very confident under brakes there. Has to almost pull out of it because he did not want to centre punch the back of that ZB in front. He's going to pull out of the slipstream here. He had a bloody great exit on that, and Dan Jankos will find himself vulnerable here into the sweep, and they're going to go side by side here. McFadden just sends it. Oh, there's a big lock up. He's somehow gathered it up. Bloody how good's the car control here from Mr. McFadden. King just getting out of the way of these guys coming through for a blue flag. Oh, holy moly.
Far out. That was excellent car control, as you said, Chris. Good to watch. Very spectacular stuff. And Brian McFadden's cousin just enjoying his time out there at the moment. This is a good battle for these guys, but we unfortunately literally just have to focus on the top 3 because there is only 1 lap to go after this one, and we're only 3/10 between first and second again. It is now battle on with Tom Wilson and Matt Cotter. Wilson is a very, very good defensive driver. We saw that about 3 laps ago. That was absolutely sensational. He knows where Cotter's going, and Cotter's slid off the track nearly. Yes, he has, and that is gone. That is an unforced error from Cotter. He's gone straight back on the track. He's nearly at Hawkins, and even cleaned up Andrew Ferguson and Marsden are both going to go through. Holy cow, that is disaster for Matthew Cotter. He's pushed the issue too much, and he's found the limit of adhesion. And those circular road dampeners had just given up at that stage for Matt Cotter. So on through goes Ferguson, Marsden, Hawkins and Newing, and Tom Wilson will be singing for his supper tonight. I'll give you the mail because that is a godsend for him on this last lap of the race. And Luke Newing is still probably just about there, but not far enough at this stage. And we haven't seen anything like that from Cotter for a while, ladies and gentlemen. So Thomas Wilson at this stage is going to take P1 as we've round the final turn here. And yes, that was very, very slidey from Luke Newing anyway. But Thomas Wilson is going to come through, ladies and gentlemen, and take race 1. Led from the start. Absolutely domination there. And that was a great race from everyone involved. Luke Newing in second. Great drive from him. Ryan Hawkins third. Marsden promoted to 4th. And Andrew Ferguson, the 2 teammates, 4th and 5th position. Where do you read about it? You only read about it here, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Cotter up in 6th position after that unforced error. He'll be disappointed with that. Unfortunately, a man from Pro Sim Center, Scotty Garrick, in a very, very good result there for him in 7th position. Nick Mallow comes through in 8th. James Claypole in 9th. And Brody Sharp rounds out your top 10 with some celebratory top 10 finishing donuts.
Absolutely. And to round out the rest of the field, we have Grant in 11th, Jankos 12th. Clayton Pine in 13th. Pretty good drive from him. Brandon Pierce 14th. Jason McFadden 15th. Riley Price 16th. Adam Betts in 17th. He'll be disappointed with that. Steve Scully, Brad Turby, Guy Duff. Sorry, Guy. Clayton Waters. It should be Cam Waters. He gets me confused every time. Our newcomer tonight, Jackson Lancaster. In 22nd, Richard King and Blake Rankine finishes 7 laps down in this race. Well, I tell you what, that lived up to expectations and exceeded them in the clean racing stakes. I'll tell you what,
between 9th and 10th as well with Claypole and Sharp, only 0.05 of a second between them two. That would have been a photo finish in anyone's books for 9th and 10th there between those two. And our drama up at the front. That race had everything. It had trials and tribulations, gross exaggerations, and sliding around everywhere for other people, and some heartbreak stories, especially that from Matt Cotter and also our good friend Adam Betts too. Just coming adrift there as we speak. But ladies and gentlemen, that's only race 1. We've got 2 more to go. And we have got a centrepiece of action for you tonight here at AK Racing. So we will be back very, very shortly for race 2.
grass is greener on the other side. The good old days are happening now. I miss my old friends, 'cause I swore that I was happier then. All these new things become old things somehow. Familiar places where I swear I've seen your faces before keep running through my mind all over and over again. I just can't stop thinking about reliving my past. They keep losing colour and I'm scared that they won't last. And I don't appreciate all the memories that I'm making. I don't see what's right in front of me. The grass is greener on the other side. The good old days are happening now. I miss my old friends, 'cause I swore that I was happier then. All these new things become old things somehow.
We're back, ladies and gents, and it's race 2. We've got 28 laps ahead of us, and if the action wasn't enough for you in that 15-lapper, it's going to be doubled up here, because these guys are now in the positions of where they finished. So Thomas Wilson, again, from winning that first race, will start on pole with Luke Newing in second position. So it looks a bit the same as the first race, but behind them there is a few differences with Ryan Hawkins and Stephen Marsden off the second row. Marsden will be chomping at the bit to get involved here with his teammate behind him, Ferguson, and Cotta in sixth position. Garrick, Mello, Claypole and Brody Sharp round out your top 10 with Grant, Jankos, Pine, Pierce, McFadden, Price, Betts, Scully, Turby, Duff, Waters, Lancaster, King and Rankine bringing up the rear. It was so clean in race 1. I feel like that we're due for maybe a little bit of funny business coming down into turn 2 this time.
Well, it's this race, strategy-wise, is a mandatory compound change. So I'll guarantee you nearly every man and his dog literally will be starting on the super softs to get out of the way here of those soft runners, if there are any, because that is the quickest way around this circuit to gain any time, ladies and gentlemen. But you do have to get on them at some stage, those soft tyres, and that will be up to wherever your fuel level is. Those super softs cry, poor me, and get me off these rims. So it's all on, and we will have to keep an eye out to see who pits when this race, and what their strategies are going to be between the teams and between the drivers on track as well.
Yeah, we've got 30 seconds to go now, ladies and gents, and it looks like our pole sitter is opting to go for the soft tyre off the line, and Nick Mello as well in your top 10. So whether they swap that around before the lights go green, I can't be sure. It looks like he's going to be starting the race on the softs, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get absolutely swamped off the line here, but all these things we're going to find out very shortly when these lights go green. We got lights on, we got lights almost up. We're going to just get a vantage point out on track. These guys are away, and look, Luke Newing just goes straight to the lead. Thank you very much. Hawkins is going to try and make his way around as well. Poor old Wilson is just an absolute sitting duck at the moment, trying to go defensive, but Cotter makes his way around as well. He's going to hold on to about 6th position here at the moment. Guys, they're all just lining up on him. Ferguson goes around the outside of turn 2, gets the job done. Scotty Garrick chiming in as well. He's going to take over that position. Ryan Hawkins right on the back of Luke Newing for the lead. However, Stephen Marsden up the inside of Hawkins. He's looking for a shot here into second position. Gets the job done. A little bit of hip and shoulder on the way out, and Cotter's going to take advantage of that as well, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the racing here. Poor old Hawkins has been left high and dry out there in no man's land, but he's going to go side by side through Foster's dip, but pulls into the slipstream of Matt Cotter, wisely just backing out of that little battle there. There could have been tears at the end of that, going too wide all the way around this lap. Scotty Garrick watching the back of Andrew Ferguson at the moment. But it looks like Nick Ewing has skipped away to at least a second lead here. 8/10 now. Stephen Marsden up into second position. Matt Cotter third. Hawkins fourth. And Andrew Ferguson fifth.
What an opening lap. Congratulations to Tommy Wilson, but he wants to play the long game there. So it's pretty smart of him, I would say, just to get out of the way of everyone and be on there for a different strategy. Just let them file past, because if he got in an incident there, that's race over for sure. A bit of action going on here at the back. Crikey's Nick Mellow's all getting up and about and around. And that is Guy Duff. He has absolutely looped it himself, maybe out of this contest. Nick Mellow is trying to go around the outside Eminem style trailer park girl to get some positions. And Pearso is also having a good look at the back of Dan Jenkos at this stage. That is all on at the back half of this circuit at the moment. Everyone's having a fight position up over the bridge. And Nick Mello seems to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle here, as Dan Jenkos is looking very aggressively up the inside there of Brody Sharp, and he's off the corner, off the track everywhere. He's going sliding around more than a penguin in the Antarctic. And that is another move up there from the inside. That is very aggressive from Pine. He has hit Pierce, and Pierce is fighting back in the position. They're not giving it up early. Too wide through the S's. Holy cow. That is quick racing, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hairy corner at any stage of the race for sure. As Ryan Hawkins now sets the fastest lap of the race, he'll be redeeming himself from turn one, lap one. And that is on for Brian McFadden's cousin. He wants to get up the ARIA charts quick, smart. He's losing some revenue, and he's going to get past there Brandon Pierce. I think that is a great move under brakes there for Brian McFadden's cousin, and that gives him 14th position. Our man Adam Betts, who had the turmoil in race one, is going to make his way through the field at some stage. But that's on like Donkey Kong here. Marsden is now under attack from Matt Cotter. Matt Cotter's up the inside, and that's going to be the advantage position. Marsden says, no, thank you. I'm shutting that door tight, mate. You give me another crack at it. They're going nose to tail. There's contact there. Marsden's all rattled. Cotter's up the inside. Too wide around coming into the S's again. Holy cow, this chicane's going to be nuts if they go line of stern, and they don't. Marsden has to give that position up. Very aggressive from, we say that time and time again, but now Marsden's got a room full of another Volvo, a rearview mirror, of Hawkins, and Ferguson's going to chime in on that as well. And Hawkins has ran wide, unforced error. Ferguson's gone through and said, thank you, I'll take fourth. Ryan Hawkins will be ruining that day, but it is now a literally sandwich of three Volvos at the time. You can't get any more Sweden than that. And we're literally looking at Scotty Garrick fourth as well. It's going to be, it's going to be a foursome of Volvos at this stage.
It's all happening here. This is our Swedish part of the track here, from third all the way to sixth, seventh. All Volvos, thank you very much. Thomas Wilson doing his best to hold on to eighth at the moment, and he seems to have found a bit of space to do that. So he's sitting pretty now, just trying to, set as fast a laps as he can on this soft tyre before it goes off. And you'll see him make a bit of headway towards the end of this race when he goes to the supers, and everyone else is going to be stuck on the soft. So that's going to be one to watch out, as well as Nick Mello. So he's in 10th as well on the soft. Brian McFadden's cousin is also on the soft tyre, as well as Riley Price and Richard King at the back. Blake Rankine off the track again. Looking up and down the field for some battles here. There is one happening with Adam Betts on the back of Steve Scully at the moment, coming into the final turn, but Betts just goes a little bit deep, and he's got Jenkos to think about behind him as well.
Yeah, he definitely does, and he'll be looking to get a move on as quick as he can in Mr. Betts, because his pace is in the top 10, that's for sure. That's where he deserves to be at this stage, and looking to make moves left, right and centre to get some positions back from his 16th at the moment. And it looks like looking at these timing towers, everyone's sort of settled down for now. But looks like he's going up the inside there of Scully, and he's going to take 15th position off him. Now Chopper Cam catching this action live, and that is a great run by Adam Betts. That is a position done, as these two up in front in Pierce and Pine just get wide, and that is McFadden's cousin slipping down the order. That ARIA chart, well, it's not on there for long, ladies and gentlemen. Might need to release a new album. Quick, smart Brian. But looks like Adam Betts is now on a charge. And that is Is that Scully? It is.
That's
Scully has
Scully.
gone right off, and that is game over for him in this battle. As Matt Cotter flicks through another lap at a 104.658. That's moving at this rate with the amount of fuel on board, ladies and gentlemen, on those super soft compound.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Cotter getting into his rhythm. He's chasing down Luke Newing for the lead, but these guys are swapping positions at the moment. That's Ryan Hawkins with Andrew Ferguson on his inside. Ferguson going defensive there into shell corner. He's got his teammate in front of him. I think he might be on the comms at the moment saying, come on, Stevie boy, get a bit of a move on here. I've got a couple of angry Volvos behind me, and I really want to make a bit of a gap in between them. Oh, goodness me. Stephen Marsden doing a great job up there in the podium positions, but I wonder what the comms are like over at Flat Pack Racing right now.
They're pretty gentlemen like those two between them. They know what to do for a best race strategy, and I'm sure one of them won't hold up the other for too long if that's the case, and they'll be very, very on the edge of strategy calls at any rate during this race. These guys at Flat Pack Racing, they're very quick and very smart. A 104.4 now for Matt Cotter. He's definitely on the prowl, that's for sure. That's very, very quick, ladies and gentlemen. But these two are line astern and bridging that gap away. They've broken from Ryan Hawkins, so maybe not as much communication in that team area at this point in Mumble for those two. But don't be too stressed, because those guys will be just getting relaxed, and then all of a sudden you see a purple bloody grimace Pro Sim Centre Volvo coming behind you, because Ryan Hawkins will be under pressure from our man in that exact car I was speaking about, Scotty Garrick. This is a Volvo train at this stage. I haven't seen this for a while, but it's great to see, ladies and gentlemen, as we circulate another lap 7 out of 28 so far. This is a cracking battle. Everyone but 2 races on the super soft compound. So these tyres will only last about 8 or 9 laps, I reckon, before they start to get a bit hairy, Chris Munro. So let's see what we've got for this pit strategies coming up.
Yeah, we might see. What sort of laps were we sort of predicting on our tyre life indicator? When these super soft runners might start to come in, I think we might start to see them around the 10, 11 lap mark. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I would say probably maybe 11 if we've got a long runner, 12 or 13.
Yeah, absolutely. So still got these 4 Volvos all nose to tail just about here. I tell you what, I haven't seen this many Volvos together since the last time I was at Andrew Ferguson's house in real life. It's kind of similar to what his front yard looks like. There's a few Volvos parked out there. It's, looking up and down the field here. There's a little battle pack here with Turby and Waters going at it. Brad Turby looking up the back of that black Mustang in front, just trying to find a way through. But he's also got his own problem in a bright blue Calsonic Nissan behind him there. So that is Brody Sharp just making that move look easy, really. Just pulls it up the inside and says, thank you very much. I'll be taking that position off you, Mr. Turby. So Turby's just going to have to stick in here and try and stick with him, because once he makes his way up behind Waters, there might be an opportunity for him to capitalise on when he gets past him, if he does. But it looks like Sharp. I'll tell you what, it's been a big weekend, Zach O'Reilly. I've only just got home before the race kicked off. We've jumped in the time machine this time. Back to a time when Oran Park actually existed. So we've put away the private jet for this round, and we've jumped in the old...
just the charter bus from AK Racing for this round, but nonetheless it is a coach, ladies and gentlemen, so we have all the luxuries on board. It doesn't matter where we go, we ride in style here at AK Racing. And speaking about style, how good do all these cars look on track here in the V8 Supercars, round 6 at Oran Park. We've got colours everywhere at this point in stage, and great battling still going on. That Swedish pack of angry Volvos is not letting up at all. It looks fantastic to be part of that. I'd be very excited behind the wheel for sure. But Craig Lowndes is just wishing he was in this league at the moment, with Pine driving around in his livery, and that beautiful Calsonic Nissan is just circulating lovely, and that little Mustang in front of him is looking very, very tasty at this time to get a move on. Sharpie will be looking to get up the field for sure. He's been a bit blunt at the moment in the grey lead department for this round, and he will be wanting to take some more moves and positions off competitors on the track.
Yeah, we might see this move coming into the final turn as he gets a little bit sideways too out of that final section. Pretty hard to control when the arse end is wiggling around like that. but he's got a very nice exit, and we might see a little bit of a suck here. The straight, not very long here at Oran Park. Cars are topping out at around 250 kilometres an hour. As you get on the brakes and try and pull it up and turn through that sweeper at the same time. It's very hard to do. It's one of the most difficult tracks on our calendar, I think, in this season. Very difficult to get an idea of how the car feels because it's quite a bumpy surface as well. We've seen a few of the drivers in the chat this week not complaining about the bumps, but certainly letting everyone know that it is a bumpy circuit.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is one of those damper critical tracks. At Oran Park, especially with turn 2. You can gain a lot of time there if you get it sweet under brakes, ladies and gentlemen. As Brodie Sharp has just done exactly that, sweet under brakes, and literally just got straight under Cam Waters and said thank you for that move. Now, there's been something happening between our two competitors in the Volvos. We've got Ferguson's ran wide, I think, at this stage, and Hawkins has just given him an elbow to the left. Maybe there's a return serve coming from Fergo, but none to see at this point in time. Maybe an unforced error that we just missed from Andrew Ferguson. So he's gone from 4th to 6th in a matter of 3 corners. He'll be ruining that day for sure, but that has allowed his teammate at this stage, Stephen Marsden, to gallop off the road. He's got a good 3 seconds between himself and Scotty Garrick, and that promotes Scotty Garrick up to 4th. He'll be chomping at the bit for a top 5 finish, Scotty Garrick. He has got the pace to be up there, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if we can finish and retain these laps. But at this stage, the super soft tyres, I reckon, will be screaming. And it's going to be a who gives in first sort of scenario, I would say, here to get onto those soft compounds. But I would say that looking at where our mate Mr. Wilson is, who is the first runner of our soft compound tyres sitting there in 7th, he will be looking at everyone going, ha, looks like I'm going to get through soon, ladies and gentlemen, and make advantage of all that clear space in front of him on those soft compound tyres, because they won't be giving up at any stage yet. But he does have to come in at some stage to put on the super soft tyres, which will give him a lot of a pace advantage coming at the end of the race. So we have to look out for that, Chris Munro.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'll have a pretty light tank on fuel as well towards the end. So we'll expect to see a few qualifying laps from Thomas Wilson there, as Richard King has just absolutely killed.
That's our leader, Luke Newing.
Oh my God.
He has absolutely been sent by the King. And I'm telling you right now, you wish he was in medieval time, because the King is absolutely dead to Luke Newing at this stage.
Yeah,
that is disaster, ladies and gentlemen. That is the epitome of what we don't do as a blue flagger on the circuit. And I'm so sorry, Luke Newing. No fault of your own there, my friend. But that's motor racing at this stage. And that has given Matt Cotter the lead and Marsden into 2nd position. Ryan Hawkins in the last of the podium spots at the moment. So Fergo will be chomping at the bit, and in comes Luke Newing for his pit stop. I reckon he was only a lap off coming in.
Yep.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so that is him off the super soft compound, or maybe some damage too. We would have to find out how long he sits in this pit to see exactly what he has copped under that unfortunate incident with a blue flag in Mr. King.
Yeah, that was some lazy stuff there from our back markers. Not what you want to see, and you certainly don't want to be that guy that's taken out the leader. But oh my God, Luke Newing coming out of the pits and absolutely tailing it into turn 2. Those soft tyres are a big change after you're coming in from a nice hot set of supers. So we can just see him getting to grips with the car at the moment, and probably a little bit hot under the collar after that incident. And you see James Claypole taking full advantage of that. He says, thank you very much. I'll go up into the top 10, if you don't mind me saying. But as we speak, we've got our leader and 2nd position and 3rd position all into the pits at the moment. Cotter first. Stephen Marsden up into 2nd. He'll be pretty excited about this. He's still got half the race to go. We're on lap 14 of 28. Matt Cotter is the first one to get moving, and look at that. That's a very sweet pit stop there. 26.8 seconds for him. Marsden, it doesn't actually say. I would like to have seen how fast these guys were in the pits, but as it is, that is Thomas Wilson up into 2nd now. He's still got to make his pit stop though, and I suspect we might see that happen in the next couple of laps.
Or if he wants those super soft to last a little bit longer, he'll be waiting for those soft tyres that those guys have just put on, because they'll take another lap or 2 to warm up. And he's a very warm and perfectly conditioned at this stage to keep the pace. So he'll be looking to maybe stay out for 1 or more 2 laps, I would say, in the ideal strategy department. But Ryan Hawkins now comes out, and he's sitting in 8th, effectively 3rd in this race, with the pit stops been circulating through at this point in the race. But our man Wilson is the one to watch, because he's just gone into the lead as Ferguson comes into the pits now. He's said, thank you very much, those super softs. I'm coming in for a change now. And that will put Ferguson, I reckon, back down into effectively 5th position from here, if it's a good stop, because Hawkins is now all over the back of Dan Jenkos at this stage to get through and take advantage of those soft tyres at this great motorsport racetrack we've got here at Oran Park.
Absolutely. All the strategy happening here in race 2 tonight. All eyes are on those two guys that started on the on the soft tyre. That is Wilson and Mello, and they are 1 and 2 in this race at the moment. Obviously yet to pit, and they do lose about 30 seconds in that pit lane. So they will be coming back out into a similar position where they were before the pit stops, around 10th and 11th, maybe 11th, 12th. But then they will have the advantage of about a second per lap pace. So we might see them start to pick off these guys one by one towards the end of this race. But who will be the first one of those guys to come in? It will be interesting, because whoever does, they will get the advantage of that undercut, as Betts just gives Riley Price a little bit of a shunt there coming into Champions Curve. Betts getting a little bit frustrated, I think, here, because this is a very difficult track to overtake. He's just sent one up into the Foster's dip. It's not going to work for him this time, so he's going to have to recalibrate and get his attack style sorted out to get around this car sales Nissan in front. Excuse me.
He won't be selling in the position at any stage at this point, Mr. Price in the car sales livery. And I literally think that Adam Betts, as you said, is a little bit frustrated and hot under the collar. We know where he should be at this pace of the race, but unfortunately that is racing as well, as I said earlier. But yeah, as you said too, Chris Munro, in your expertise in this department, is Wilson out in front, and you do need at least 26 seconds in the pit stop challenge. So I think he's going to come out still probably about 7th or 8th in that freight train of cars, because there's only 14 seconds between himself and 3rd position in Matt Cotto, who was the effective leader at this rate. So those deltas are falling. It was about 10 seconds and 7 seconds. So Matt Cotto's on the charge. Nick Mallow is struggling, and he comes into the pits at this rate now. So that is going to be a quick stop for him. It's already 12 seconds down. Where is Mr. Cotto? He's gone straight past him now as well. And that is effectively the lead of this race. By the time everyone files through, Wilson will be filing through on the next lap, I would say, for his strategy call.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Mello can get his wriggle on around this out lap, he might even be able to jump Wilson in the pit lane. But we'll see how that pans out in about a lap's time. Looking up and down the field, Luke Newing is up behind James Claypole at the moment. So he'll be trying to recoup some of that damage caused by the errant blue flag there earlier. Not what you want to see to the leader, but that is racing, as we said. It's part of the things to take into account here in sim racing land. But he's got James Claypole not making it easy for him. So James would have no idea what has happened to Luke Newing at this stage. All that he can see is there is a car behind him, and that he will defend, because he's got 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Thomas Wilson is in the pits now, so we're going to get an idea of where he comes out in relation to Nick Mello. Looking down the pit lane there, that is Nick Mello, I believe.
Is this going to be close? It is. Look at them under brakes. The advantage on those hot tyres already compared to Wilson's absolutely stone cold ones. That is an absolute game changer in the pace department. He's going defensive already on Ryan Hawkins. Tom Wilson, he never actually leaves any prisoners in the defence. It's great to see, and Hawkins has got the headlights on just to give it a little bit of an extra distraction to Wilson as well. But he's holding on. He's only got to hold on for another lap or so to retain that position, and my word is, will he be keen to do so, because those super soft tyres are going to come up to temperature relatively quickly, and he will gallop away at least a second a lap, as you said, Chris. And there is time for that, because there is only, I can see here, about 8 or 9 seconds between himself and the leader in Matt Cotter. So far out, another revelation in this strategy department. Yeah. It looks like it could work out absolutely brilliantly here for Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. But he still has got the hard work to do of overtaking, as we say many a time on the channel. It's one thing to catch up to the guys in front, but it's another thing completely to get that overtake done. But I think in this case, he has got the advantage of that super soft tyre, and they're going to be nice and prepped in that working window. So he will have better braking performance. He will have better acceleration as well, better turning grip, better all round on the super soft. So I tell you what, it's only 8 laps to go, 9 laps to go, but it is about a second and a bit of pace advantage. So I expect to see a little battle for the lead in the final couple of laps of this race.
Get heated up. We never leave you in doubt here at AK Racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's always something of a turntables at the end, and it looks like Andrew Ferguson as well is going to take advantage of Ryan Hawkins if he can get that pace, because he's been very consistent tonight, Mr. Ferguson. It's great to see. And who is that? That is Stephen Marsden all over the back, and he's hit. That is a collision, ladies and gentlemen. That is all over for Brian McFadden's cousin. He will be spewing as well. I don't think that was intentional. And there's more cars off. There's carnage everywhere at the back. That is also Tom Wilson has been caught up in that, and he's DNF'd. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. He has given up. That is disaster for Tom Wilson. We were just talking about him. Talk about a commentator's curse. And McFadden is now absolutely spicy hot under that collar of his race car at the moment, as our guy Duff decides to take an excursion. But what a disaster there to the end half of this race for Tom Wilson. He will be spewing at this stage. That is a
damage on that car.
Look at the damage. Wow. I've not seen that sort of damage from a ZB Commodore before. That is incredible.
The roof bar is just hanging off there. Will it make it back to the pit lane? But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. But I know exactly what happened there, because the exact same thing happened to me last time I raced this circuit. The way the pit entry is, it is kind of on the racing line. So if you are braking to go into the pits and there is a car behind you, they are not aware that you're going to be braking at that time and will just run straight up your ass. And that's what happened to me, ladies and gentlemen. It can happen. It's just unfortunate that it's happened here. Again, McFadden will make his way into the pit lane this time around successfully.
I'm not a steward, ladies and gentlemen, but I do hold the driver's briefing for everyone here. And this was a key point that I made very clear to everyone on track prior to the round starting. And yeah, unfortunately, it's happened. So... oh, geez, maybe sometimes people need ears the size of bloody elephants, but unfortunately that's happened, and it's happened to the worst possible person at the worst possible time. That was going to be a charge on for the lead here. But speaking of battles anyway, play on line astern. Claypole's looking up the inside of Betts here for a move for 10th position, or 9th position effectively, sorry. This is going to be exciting coming through here. And they line astern, or side by side, sorry, as they come through up over the Yokohama Bridge. And that is going to be a position there for Mr. Claypole. He's going to take that off. Who are we talking about? Adam Betts, sorry. And Ryan Hawkins has now been promoted to 3rd. Andrew Ferguson in 2nd position. Geez, that house is going to be absolutely raving tonight after this result, if he can hold on. With Stephen Marsden in 4th for the last position at the podium. Only 1.2 seconds up the road in that battle between him and Hawkins. So we'll see where we finish out with 6 laps to go. Wow, full of drama, excitement, tension, and trials and tribulations, that's for sure. This race too, Chris Munro.
All happening here. The absolute complexion of this race has changed in the last 5 minutes with all that stuff happening with the pit lane and Jason McFadden getting tangled up with, it looked like Thomas Wilson, who I had my money on for the race win there, ladies and gentlemen. So I tell you what, the curse is out to the people that are in the lead or in the prospective lead of this race so far. We've had Luke Newing get it snatched away from his hands. We've had Thomas Wilson have the win snatched away from his hands. What can happen to Matt Cotter at the moment? Is there anything that can stop this bloke from a winner? No one wants to win this race.
Should not be looking at him. Let's get off him really quickly. Right. He's very comfortable there at the moment. We might ruin his race too. Oh, geez, the curse is out and about here at the moment in full force, that's for sure. I don't know what we did, but we've absolutely given ourselves a G up on that commentator curse department tonight. As Lancaster goes around the outside of Bradsky Turby, I think that is in 20th and 19th position battle effective. And that looks like it's the closest battle on track at this stage. But top 10, remember, and that is Lancaster gone off. He's just given up all that hard work, and he will be at dead last at this stage between him himself and anyone who hasn't been lapped. And that's an interesting way to get back onto the circuit. The longest way around I can see. But he's going to do it safely and rejoin nonetheless at this stage of lap 23.
Tell you what, who will be fired up and ready for the end of this race to come as quickly as possible is Stephen Marsden. After having a shocking round at Pukekohe, he has redeemed himself here in race 2. He's up into 4th position. You can see Ryan Hawkins down the road there. It's only a 1.7 second gap, and he is just a little bit off the pace with Hawkins at the moment, going about 4/10 slower on that last time around. But Hawkins is actually lining up his teammate in Andrew Ferguson. He's got him. He's got that gap down to around a second. So if these guys can start battling, it might bring Marsden back into this race actually, and that will be pretty much battle on for the second place of the podium.
Yeah, very much so. That comms department will be getting spicy at the end between Marsden and Ferguson with some strategy calls. Excuse me. Got a bug in my throat at the moment. I just swallowed something that was flying around inside. And our mate Nick Mallow, redemption drive for himself. He's found himself in 6th position. That's an excellent drive so far from him. A bit of an unsung hero at this stage of race 2. And he's done well to recuperate himself from race 1, which wasn't a very ideal situation for himself there. But looking to take charge because it'll be a reverse top 10 for race 3. Coming right up, so he will advance 1 or 2 positions up the grid to start that race, and it's just going to be a grid that we haven't seen before. We'll have, at this stage, we'll have a lot of people we don't see up the front usually battling for that domination at the front of the race for race 3, coming up in about 3 laps time. But yeah, he's definitely gaining advantage at the moment. Nick Mallow and Scotty Garrick. Scotty Garrick's just had to get around a lap marker there, back marker, sorry. And he'll now be held under the collar looking in that mirror for a ZB with that Farmers Union Iced Coffee logo from Project 4 Racing. There's definitely a pace difference here, Chris. It's on like Donkey Kong for sure.
Yeah, you see the advantage of the Super Soft tyre here in all its glory, really, with Nick Mallow.
Full strength.
Yeah, full strength. Not Dare Iced Coffee, is it? It's Project Farmers Union Iced Coffee. Not my favourite iced coffee, but I'm sure these guys get their fair share worth with the sponsorship deal there. But here goes Nick Mallow just punching it up the inside here at the final turn. Gets that job done, and with the superior traction of those tyres, he will say see you later to Scotty Garrick down the straight. Scotty Garrick gives him a little bit of a flash. I don't know if he was too happy about that late dive there from Nick Mallow, but it all looked kosher to me. Good move and play on there for the boys.
Could have been a well done in Morse code.
Yeah, maybe.
The 2 flashes that we saw. Maybe. Could be a good sportsman-like congratulatory flash there. As Brandon Pearce is definitely doing that. He's piercing his way through the field at the moment. He's made up some positions here. He'll be looking to get on the back of Dan Jenkos with only half a second between himself and Jenkos at this stage with 2 laps to go in this final race for bragging rights over 12th and 13th so far. It's been a good round here at this stage, but our man Wilson has rejoined the race after going from the pits, and he's sitting in 11th. He's only got, he's on super softs. He's 2 laps to gain 3.5 seconds to find himself on pole for the next race if he can get into 10th. Else he is going to have a mission on for him in the 55 lapper coming up for race 3 to fight himself from 11th down to the front where he has deserved to be, as well as Luke Newing too tonight, and Matt Cotter. So it's going to be unlike anything at the moment, with a lot of people wishing they were where they should be and not getting there.
No, that's right. But this has turned into the little mini story that racing sometimes throws at you. It's can Thomas Wilson chase down James Claypole for a bit of redemption and a pole position start for not only race 1, race 2, but for our feature race in this series round tonight.
He's on here, Chris. Sorry to interrupt. He's already gained a second already. Second and a half in 1 lap between himself and Claypole, and that Volvo is getting ever so bigger through his front windscreen. So I'll forget you, there's some incentivisation here at the moment in Tom Wilson's mind, because he knows what the next format is. If he can get up there and no incidents happen with some back markers or himself on lap 1 or unforced errors, you would say he would be a hot favourite for the win in race 1. But speaking of wins, we've got a battle here for Ryan Hawkins, who we haven't seen up the front on the podium. Oh, not on the podium, on the front foot at the moment in P1 for this year so far. But he's come to grips with that Volvo very quickly, so it's good to see. And another closest battle here between Lockie Grant and Adam Betts. Wow, this is close. This will be very good. There will be a bit of suck down the straight because Betts has got a very good run. And will Lockie Grant go defensive? He tends to be a little bit gun shy in that department. And yes, that is a move under braking, and that is going to be contact, and that is all over for the both of them. Stewards will be absolutely getting their books out left, right, and centre. There will be licence points and championship points and everything off for that incident, ladies and gentlemen. But with that incident too, that could be a hot move here because that's going to advance Tom Wilson up to 10th. So he is on pole for race 1. I wonder what he's going to be thinking about that in his head. Will he just sit there and they'll take max advantage as Cotter comes through for the win? What an absolute champion race. He stayed out of all the trouble. 16 seconds, mind you, to himself and this gentleman coming through in second position, Andrew Ferguson. That Andrew Ferguson household will be champagned up and disco lights and everything for a P2. Very well done, sir. That's his best result of the year so far. Ryan Hawkins also comes through in third position gallantly too. That was a very good race by him as well. Very mature. Steve Marsden comes through in fourth. Terratech Flatpack Racing are going to be singing from here to Queensland today at this point in rate with that advantage of the points in the teams department. Nick Mallow fifth. Scotty Garrick from Pro Sim Centre in sixth position. Good drive from him. Luke Newing, bit of a redemption drive there from him. Thomas Wilson, after all that trials and tribulations, finds himself in 8th position to finish the race. What a fantastic result for him. Claypole in 9th and rounding out a top 10, Adam Betts. That's also very good drive from the Cookie Monster for P1 at the start of the next race, mind you.
Tell you what, that is Andrew Ferguson's best result in his AK racing career. So he's going to be putting on the show here, ladies and gents, with a bit of a celebratory burnout. Very nicely done too, might I add. Look at him go, and there's Matt Cotter, our race winner, there in front of him. Ferguson will be pumped about that. He'll be punching the air back at home, and he's going to be just ripping on these tyres until they explode, I've got a feeling. Very good result there from Flat Pack Racing and Andrew Ferguson. Congratulations, mate. You deserved that. It's been a long time coming. Thomas, where were we up to? Dan Jenkos in 11th position, just narrowly missing out on that reverse top 10. Brandon Pierce in 12th. Lockie Grant 13th. Brody Sharp in 14th. Riley Price in 15th. Jason McFadden in 16th. Clayton Pine, Guy Duff, Brad Turvey, Steve Scully. Round out your top 20. And I think it was Waters 21st. Jason Lancaster 22nd. Richard King and Blake Rankine only lasting 3 laps before he DNF. So good to have you along, Blake Rankine again. All right, let's stop and catch our breath before we have our feature race of the evening. It is a 56 lapper around this absolutely action-inducing circuit. I tell you what, the racing has been just second to none tonight. The guys have kept it all very nice and tidy as well. Just a couple of little racing incidents along the way, but commendable driving from everyone. So it's that time of the night. We're going to have to get geared up for this feature race tonight. So everyone at home, go and recharge your drinks, go to the toilet, get what you need to do sorted, because we'll be back in just a couple of minutes for our feature race of this evening.
Such a funny guy to
We are back on track now, ladies and gentlemen, for the third race of the evening and the final race of the evening. It's our 56 lap endurance, race. It's going to go for about an hour, but I'm looking forward to it. There's going to be battles from the top all the way to the bottom, as it usually is here at AK Racing. We are unabashedly saying that we have the best racing in the country at the moment here in the V8 series. It's so tight at the top, it's tight in the middle, it's tight at the bottom, and there's going to be plenty to sink our teeth into for the next 56 laps. So hopefully you guys at home are having a good time and enjoying the race, enjoying the commentary. If you do, and you are new to the channel and have not yet subscribed and liked our videos, please do so. We would much appreciate the love. It goes a long way to improving things around the channel. But in saying that, I will say thank you in advance. But we're about 30 seconds away from a race start, Zach O'Reilly.
Wow, it's on like Donkey Kong here. I can't wait to call this first lap, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
We have seen some trials coming from different strategies in race 2, which we're nearly about to work out for some people. So we'll see where we sit with this one. 55 laps, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in your seatbelts, get ready, because the lights are up at this stage. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 lights. Where are we going to start? Who's going to take advantage here for race 3 at Oran Park? Lights out and away we go. Adam Betts has got a good start there. I think Mr. Claypole has also got a better one right next to him. Who's going to get the better line into turn 1? Everyone's line astern at this stage. Tom Wilson's up there. Luke Newing will also be wanting a piece of the action too. Who's going to stick out of trouble at this stage? Everyone's 2 wide, 3 wide in the background there. Adam Betts has taken the lead, and Cotter's going up the inside there as well. We've got a couple of leaders changing positions here. Hawkins has gone up a couple of positions too in that opening stanza. And looks like 3 wide here between Matt Cotter, Scotty Garrick and Nick Mallow. That is never going to work, 3 wide in the corner, and they all find their way around without contact. Very well done, boys. That is great racing. Coming up over to the Yokohama Bridge, we've got Brandon Pearson, the fight of his life, for 10th. We've got Brody Sharp. We've got Brian McFadden's cousin up in front of him. We've got everyone having a crack here. Ferguson's got past Pierce for a moment. Clayton Pine's gone into the actual action as well. Nick Mallow's looking for position there in 4th and 5th. Brody Sharp filing through in that Celsonic Nissan. Everyone's single file for the first lap here. Every car's going which way at this stage. It's all settling down for now. But looks like we've got a long slog ahead of us with 56 laps to go. it's all on like Donkey Kong here as we come up to the final turn. Matt Cotto in 7th, looking for an inside run on Scotty Garrick. He will get that move done if Scotty Garrick doesn't go defensive soon. Matt Cotto loves a send, so here he is for the send underneath to end out round 1, and he's got that job done, Chris Munro.
What an absolutely cracking first lap from the boys. Just clean and great, hard racing as far as you can see up and down the field. And if you just get, we're just going to watch them all file through here. Look at these beautiful V8 supercars getting around this once was brilliant track as well. You see all the guys at Blake Rankine at the back there. That is Bradsky Turby. He must have had a bit of a gutser there coming at the back of the field. Let's get up here because Guy Duff has found himself off the field here. Off the road. So he's made it back on and he will rejoin in 20th position at the moment. Riley Price is all over the back of Dan Jankos now as we look up the field. There's a couple of little battles forming up and down here, so it's very hard to keep track of everyone and who's who. But Riley Price will be looking in to put a bloody good move here on Dan Jankos, so he's probably just going to have to try and stick on the back of him at this moment. Get into a bit of a slipstream position here. So it looks like that Nissan has got a fair bit of straight line speed. As they come down into the braking zone, of turn 2. Right up behind him as he gets on the power out of turn 2. These guys are racing hard at the moment. There's a bit of a stoppage up the front here, and the field has compressed. They're sort of lining up behind. Who's that? Brandon Pierce.
Brandon Pierce. Well. Yes, I think it was Pine who made the unforced error there, Chris, which backed up the rest of them. Brian McFadden's cousin's having a crack as well in that Red Bull Empire Racing ZB Commodore. And it's a 4-way, 5-way line of stern battle here. But geez, that was a sideways Celsonic Nissan. We just got in the screenshot there at that last minute. And everyone's playing for sheep stations because we are all on the super soft compound, mind you. Every person here is going for a sprint race, sort of a stint for the first section of this race. And that is Mr. Pine going... Oh, no, Mr. Pine... it is Mr. Pine going wide. Riley Pierce has just looped himself off the track. And it is the slippery out there than the Antarctic surface, so he won't get back on the track quickly. Nick Mallow's having a good crack at Cotter, unless that was for position. It was. Matt Cotter has got up the inside for 5th position under Nick Mallow. So he will be wanting to skip away as quick as he can, take full advantage of those super soft tyres. But locking them up like that won't do any good to those that compound for sure at this rate. It's it's spicy here. Even Scotty Garrick's wanting to have a crack at Nick Mallow too. So we've got ZB, we've got VF, we've got S50 or S40, whatever they are. Line astern. This is going to be a great battle here for the next lap or two, Chris Munro.
Yeah, these guys are racing pretty hard at the start of this race. You probably want to be trying to go into a bit of a tyre conservation mode once you get clear of the immediate battles that are on hand. And once you settle into a rhythm, you can start to sort of work on those tyres and bring them in nice and softly. Otherwise, you could run the risk of overusing them at the start of this race and find yourself having to maybe do a little bit of a pit stop early and or losing a bit of pace towards the back end of it. There's big smoke signals down the back here. Who is that? That is Luke Newing or Hawkins. I can't quite see. I think that's Luke Newing.
That's Newing.
He's around. Poor old Newing, as it's just going from bad to worse here for him tonight. He will rejoin the track in 13th position as Clayton Pine just goes past him there. Oh, gee, I feel for Newing at the moment, but his teammate Ryan Hawkins is under pressure from Andrew Ferguson at the moment. Fergo is just full of adrenaline, I'd imagine, after getting the silver biscuits in race 2. So he's driving with a head full of confidence at the moment. So somebody stop Andrew Ferguson. I challenge thee. I challenge anyone to have a crack at him here at the moment. He's 10 foot tall and bulletproof after that. He'll be strutting around his house afterwards as well, I'd imagine. I'll tell
you what, he won't want to have his boxes on the wrong way around because he won't be able to tell whether he's coming or leaving at this rate for a podium finish. But Fergo is definitely 10 foot high, and I guarantee you he's just hard in the head, and that is a wide running blank rank getting out of the way of everyone. And that's another car off the track in front of us. Smoke signals as well. That is Nick Mallow. He has completely gone wide and given up 4 positions now in one corner. An unforced error for Nick Mallow, just hasn't found his rhythm tonight, unfortunately, at this rate. But geez, it's been some stories everywhere. Tell you what, story at the moment, lap 6 of 56, halfway through it, and Adam Betts is absolutely holding off Tom Wilson there. That shows where his pace was. We weren't wrong with the two races earlier, ladies and gentlemen. He is genuinely a pacey guy at this track, so he will be ruining every opportunity at this stage to take an advantage of that lead and make sure he doesn't make it easy for Tom Wilson to get past for P1.
Yeah, last time around was a 105.3, plays a 105.4 for Wilson. So these guys are putting in some serious laps and serious pace at the moment. Tom Wilson choosing not to go too hard on the attack. I'd imagine he's probably just sitting in the box seat here, just waiting for a mistake, and hopefully just build a bit of a gap to the cars behind. As you can see, that's James Claypole with Matt Cotter all over the back of him as well. So we might have to fire up the chopper to get a bit of a 4-car frame here with both these battles just spicing up at the moment. As you can see, Matt Cotter is up the inside of Claypole at the moment. He's going to make that job work there into the Champions Curve. Now we can focus on this battle here at the front. It's Tom Wilson all over the back of Betts at the moment. Betts choosing not to go defensive, just using his pace at the moment to hold off that Nissan as they hit the what is that corner called? Momo corner. The uphill left-hander, one of my favourite turns on the track. It's so satisfying when you get it correct. Tom Wilson going to go wide and duck in as a bit of a late apex to try and get the slingshot effect and get some of that suck down the main straight and put his car in a position where he can just try and get up the inside in the braking zone. And I think that's happening here. As you can see, that Nissan just making slow little inroads here towards the ZB. It's not going to happen on this lap yet. Thomas Wilson all over the back of him at this time. We're going to go back to our track cams because that gap is back out to a couple of 5/10. So I tell you what, Thomas Wilson asking a few questions and Adam Betts has all the answers at the moment.
Well, you've commentated Kirsty.
As soon as I said it.
Move up the inside.
Yep.
As soon as you said it, I was about to comment on the different driving styles of these two. Very, very much a trail braking technique for Adam Betts. He really holds the brakes all the way till the exit of the corner, and Wilson's just more a stab, let go, point in and turn kind of driver, and that has absolutely given the curse another tip for the night. We have just given our hats and saying, here, have all the curses, ladies and gentlemen. As Adam Betts is now in second, and that is a ZB all fired up under Matt Cotter, looking at the back of that Oreo sponsorship racing vehicle. And Matt Cotter is on a charge tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We keep sounding like we repeat him, but he's been the one up the front most of the time and making inroads everywhere he can. So great to see a charging person in the ZB dialed in at this Oran Park. Very, very difficult circuit, as you mentioned before, Chris. But it's going to be on. We're only 9 laps in. We've got another 47 to go, ladies and gentlemen. So it's if you think it's good now, just wait till the end because these strategies are going to come in quick and fast with the pit stops. Yeah,
we've had everyone starting on the super softs this race, as were the directions of the race director for this round. So I think we're going to see a variety of pit entries. I think when they're going to come in. You can choose to come in early now and get that soft tyre on and heat it up before everyone else does, and maybe get a bit of an undercut happening in the long run. But as we saw in race 2, these guys were willing to stretch the super soft to around the 14 lap mark. I think was one of the latest ones to pit. But I think by then they were starting to lose that sheen, and they were certainly probably a bit slower than the super soft. But here goes Cotter up the inside there. Betts just holding his line around the outside, has the momentum, but that is not going to happen yet. Matt Cotter has got his hands full here at the moment, as well as Adam Betts. These guys are going to be battling it out hard. As you say, it's only the lap 10 of 56, but it may as well be the last lap with how these guys are going to be battling.
Yeah, it might as well be, but the only thing that this race is giving us in the mandatory side of things is a pit. So if you want to be a Tom Wilson and do a strategy call on super softs for the whole race, you are more than welcome to. Don't know if that's going to be beneficial, but being only a 1 minute 5-6 odd lap circuit, it could literally give you a advantage at the end if you decide to keep doing that. And that is an errant Volvo sitting on the side of there. I think that's Scully who is parked it up against the barriers there. But Matt Cotter is all over the back of Adam Betts. Adam Betts is doing a very good job of of relenting the pressure that Matt is purely putting on him from every corner of the track. They've got two different lines coming in here. A shallower exit entry for Cotter versus Betts. Betts tries to take a wide line on the exit. And they're your two different driving styles there for sure. But it's only going to happen at some stage. And all the question we have left now is when, Chris Munro?
Well, hopefully as late as possible if you're in the Adam Betts fan club at the moment. But it looks like it is just holding off the inevitable for now as Thomas Wilson just starts to skip away from these two while they get their hands dirty down in this battling situation that they've got. Betts might even be inclined to maybe just not go defensive anymore and just let Cotter go through and let Cotter start to attack Thomas Wilson, which will bring Adam Betts back into the equation for maybe taking advantage of any kind of crumbs that sort of fall off the table, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, exactly. And speaking of crumbs, yeah, Oreos is literally just giving the crumbs to Matt Cotter, and he's licking the last bit of the plate at the moment because he's going to take through the position of number 2 there on Adam Betts. Adam Betts got a bit squirrely on the last corner there on the exit, and that allowed the advantage to Matt Cotter. So Matt Cotter is now up into second position with Matt Cotter and Tom Wilson well out at the moment. The championship battle is going to be spicy for sure, with our absentee and Alex McEwen, who is the leader prior to this round. Not here tonight, unfortunately, on holidays, which I would pick a holiday over sim racing any day of the week if it's interstate or at a luxurious location. So we're saying hello to you, Mr. McEwen, and to Scotty, if they're both there as well, his father and compatriot on track as well. But Pearso has found himself in the top 10 and making good use of his time at the moment. That Super Hornet Norton Nissan looks fantastic on track. And Luke Newing, who obviously went through some drama at the start there, looping it around, I don't know if there was contact or not, finding himself back up in a redemption drive for 8th position at this rate. And there's a long race to go, so anything could happen for Luke Newing at this stage. Hopefully he keeps his heads up and confidence high for this at this rate or not. So it's good to see as the black marker does get out of the way of everyone politely. That is excellently done. Exhibit A for everyone else out there from race 1 and 2. And it's going to be a long race here at the moment because those super softs are literally probably one lap away from being a pit stop change, and we'll see who goes in on the supers or comes back out on those supers or on the softs. There's only 2 compounds, ladies and gentlemen.
That is correct. We've already seen Ryan Hawkins, James Claypool and Jason McFadden come in and make their stops. They're down in 12th to 14th position. They've come out on the softs. Clayton Waters as well has come out on the softs. We are 13 laps into this race now. We're just going to check on the pace. So let's have a look at Thomas Wilson's last lap was a 1:05.6. So that's about in the realm of the soft tyre. So I think maybe 1 or 2 more laps and we'll see Wilson come in. Once that number... Oh no, he's going to come in now. He's going to try and get the advantage of warmer tyres when he comes out of the pit stop round of pit stops, should I say. Once his competitors come out on cold tyres, he will be nice and warmed up as he's the first one in there. That inherits Matt Cotter, the lead of this race at the moment, and I don't think any of these guys will be stretching them beyond the 14 lap mark. He was a 1 minute 5.6 as well on that last lap, so pretty much identical times to Thomas Wilson. Wilson has come out of the pits now in 7th position. He's got Dan Jankos on warm old supers, so you might even see Dan Jankos make this position while Tom Wilson's tyres are just coming up to temp and pressure. As he does that, makes it go around the outside, but Thomas Wilson can defend, and he will do so. He's going to try and get that traction down, but it's just those tyres are just not hot enough yet to do what he wants them to.
Yeah, you can see the difference there. As we said, they do take a lap or 2 to come on, and that is the Exhibit A of that scenario straight off the bat. But no stress and skin off Wilson's back because now Cotter comes into the pits on lap 15. So keep a note of that in my notepad here that he's coming on lap 15. We'll see where he comes out on what tyre. I would assume he will come out on soft, just like his fellow compatriot and competitor in Tom Wilson. But you never know with Cotter. He loves to send somehow or another as he exits the pits now. That would have been about a 24-second stop. So very, very quick there for sure for Matt Cotter. And he finds himself back out on track in position 2 on those softs. Where is Adam Betts? He is coming around turn 2 now. So there is a bit of a gap there between them, about 3.5 seconds. Andrew Ferguson, the last super soft runner at this stage on track, finding himself in the lead by 11 or 12 seconds at this rate. So he will have to inherit a position or 5 or 6, I think, by the time he comes back out on track once he pits. But that is the longest runner of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Ferguson.
He's pushing them to the limits. We're just going to check on Ryan Hawkins because I know he was one of the last guys to pit. His last lap was a 1:10, so I think he's found a bit of trouble along the way there, Zach O'Reilly. But he's predicted on for a 1:05.9 at the moment, so it looks about that sort of high fives, mid fives if you're flying, is the number to get to on the softs. And there goes Andrew Ferguson into the pits now. Those super softs have had enough. Wilson is now all over the back of Adam Betts. Look at that. That pace difference is in. It's really
Another
shows
dimension
here on the soft tire. When they were both out there on the supers, they were pretty even. But it looks like Thomas Wilson has got that Nissan set up to be very handy on the hardest of the two compounds tonight.
Yeah, it's different. You can usually tweak them to have one or two, or just have a mixture of both in the setup department. Maybe an ARB tweak here or there, or maybe a toe alignment somewhere, just to say I'll sacrifice some super soft for some soft pace for the big one. So that looks like it's probably something that Wilson has done in his practice for the last 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And he's finding himself in P2 with Matt Cotter about 4.5 seconds up the road. So keep an eye on that gap as we go through the laps. And Scotty Garrick is sitting pretty in fourth at this point in time, with Adam Betts in third. So podium position is still on for those two drivers at this stage. Claypole's in fifth position. Excellent drive so far from him. Steve Marsden will be in effectively fifth position, I would say, at some stage. But hot on the collar of him is Ryan Hawkins. He will be looking to take advantage as we see some server lag there. Cars going underneath the track. But I'll tell you what, Brian McFadden's cousin has just been in the top 10. So the album's selling a bit more at the moment for Brian. So that's good to see. Our mate, Pro Sim Centre, Guy Duff, circulating around in 14th position. Fingers crossing and keep it consistent and out there, because at a long race he could find himself in the top 10. He's not far away from it on the timing department with Mallow, Pierce, Jenkos, and now himself only just crossing the start-finish line. So that could be a spicy battle for the future at some stage, whether the pace is relative or not. Chris Munro. Yeah,
hopefully we can sink our teeth into one of these battles that it will be spicing up, as it always does. These new tyres from Dunlop have just delivered nothing but action this season so far, should I say. This year is almost done, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It has gone so fast up here, jet setting around the world for AK Racing commentating team. It's been a pleasure doing this every week or every couple of weeks, especially when we get this kind of quality drivers in the server. It's just been absolutely mental this year. With all the support we've had from all the drivers, all the positive comments, it's just been great.
It's been fantastic, and I love every minute of it. Sometimes you miss being out on circuit there, circulating around, but nothing better than seeing all our up-and-coming drivers and our veterans of the AK Racing League doing well through the whole season here at the V8 Supercars series that we run here every second Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, throughout the year. And we find ourselves at the moment in Season 10 of this excellent series that we have running around. And the cars seem to be well and truly alive, thanks to our, as Chris said before, our Dunlop team. They've been working on slave labour and literally overtime for the last 4 or 5 months trying to get these compounds, and all of that. I got told their payment bonus was some beans and some rice, so they won't be starving at home watching our circulatory events happen here at the moment. But it's been absolutely fantastic to see that on track and making a difference to the races that we have seen. And speaking of making a difference, Stephen Marsden has just turned his cards from literally nothing into Blackjack 21 this season. He's circulating fantastically at the moment in position 6 and throughout the season too. He finds himself in the top 5 of the championship, which will be any sort of consolation for him at the moment. He will be singing to the stars at some point for sure during this season, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to him during the week, and he he was just pumped about being this far up in the championship, as it's probably his third or fourth season now with us at AK Racing, and anyone that has raced around here will know the pace is pretty hot at the top. You're not just going to come in and start winning races after one or two races. You really got to grind it out and perfect your craft, really, to start winning any races around this league. And look, it's just a testament to Marston's tenacity to stick with it, and he just gets better and better each season. And as to all of the drivers, really, the more you do it, the more you get better, and the more results will come your way. But that is certainly he's the poster child for that kind of action. So well done to you, Stephen Marsden. All that applies to Ferguson as well, and all the guys that are going well. One guy who is actually on fire this season is Luke Newing. He's come leaps and bounds from the last couple of seasons where he's been involved. Certainly one of the fastest guys across one lap. As we see in the practice server, nearly every round, he's the one with his name in lights at the top. Just seems to get very unlucky during some of the races, though.
No, he's copped the stick, that's for sure. We had a Mustang that he's circulating around with a competitor of ours in the past who had a Monster Energy subscription on his car, and that thing was the bad luck car at the moment. But geez, Luke Newing's given it a run for his money at this stage, unfortunately. But we love seeing him absolutely dominating in the server, and when it all goes well and all his apples are in a row, he is one to look out for sure in the championship at this stage anyway. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a battle getting up here between looks like Hawkins and Marsden. It looks like even James Claypole is now sitting on the back of Scotty Garrick too. He's sitting pretty in fourth position too, mind you. And James Claypole will be absolutely stoked with his positioning on track at the moment. Top 5, that is leaps and bounds as well for him. So keep it up, sir. We haven't commentator curse. I hope you're doing shit. That's a reverse commentator curse if for the viewers at home. So yeah, these guys are driving horribly at the moment. It's horrible to see that they're driving on the racing line. It's just ridiculous. So there you go. We've got rid of the curse, ladies and gentlemen. No more negativity for the night.
Hopefully,
as we get on to lap 22 for these gentlemen. But our mate out in front, Matt Cotter, has circulated around, and he has just bridged the gap of 5 and a bit seconds. I think we're due on board to see how the maestro of Oran Park so far circulates around one lap with the driving techniques, etc. Maybe when we come up to this half of the race, let's sit on board with Matt Cotter and do a real V8 Supercars spec style. We'll let you guys listen to the engine, turn the volumes up, and we'll have a listen and see how he goes around Oran Park with his steering inputs, and enjoy the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, that is excellent stuff there by Matt Cotter. Just smooth on the steering wheel, gives it a bit of a flick here, there and everywhere. And it's great to hear that V8 rumble as we go around Oran Park. That is one of the best sounding cars you will ever hear, ladies and gentlemen. As we follow back to the leaders in the lead pack of this race that's giving us all the entertainment is Marsden all over the back of James Claypole at this stage. It's looking spicy between the Volvos here at the moment. Marsden's on a charge because he's got to be on a charge because he's got a Ryan Hawkins behind him as well in a Volvo. We've got the old sandwich happening again. We've got the bloody ham, the meat, the lettuce, the cheese, tomato. We've got everything here. We've got the burger with the lot, with all the Swedish Volvos circulating around. I can't believe we're seeing this again. We're 4 of line astern again, and that's contact, and they're all off. Marsden has gone into the back of James Claypole, and he will stop to redress that. James Claypole's doing a circular move, and that is disaster for Stephen Marsden and James Claypole. An unforced error for Marsden, just got too hot under the collar, and there will be a redress there, but that will still be a slap on the wrist there for Stephen Marsden. 198,000% for sure. That is disaster for both of them. I haven't seen anything like that for a while. There'll be a bit of steam coming out there, but that is inherited a few guys their positions back. So Ryan Hawkins up into 5th, Luke Newing into 6th, and Fergo, Stephen Marsden, the perpetrator's teammate, up into 7th. Geez, Marsden will be ruined the day he did that. He was on a charge there, ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes you just run out of patience like a dying hospital, that's for sure, and that's the result of it.
It was a bit of a delayed commentator's curse after we gave him such a rap before, and he's just giving it all back. So, no, we take all that back, Marsden. Sorry, mate. We might give you another rap next season. We'll see how it all plays out. Oh, goodness gracious me. But all the gaps now on track have pretty much leveled out. Everyone's just sort of circulating, waiting for something to happen. I feel like there is more action installed for us later on in this race. It's all just settled down for the moment. But it's got that feeling of impending doom. Something is about to drop. And I think that might be the second round of pit stops that we might start seeing soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much fuel is on board, because the fuel is a bit tight. They won't last 55 laps, that's for sure, on a tank of fuel. So we might see some different strategies there in the pace department on who can take a quicker stop than anyone else, because there will have to be a refueling option at some stage. We do know that the pit stop, you can take on about 27 litres or so without hampering your pace. Who is that gone wide? Is that a back marker? No, that is James Claypole completely losing it himself. And that is inherited Stephen Marsden and Brian McFadden's cousin, 9th and 8th position. Claypole will be ruining the unforced error there for sure, as he just gets unlapped. Guy Duff comes through and unlaps himself, and that's Claypole into the pits. So not sure if that's damage or if that's strategy based there for James, but we'll find out where he comes out inevitably. And let me just mark that down on my notepad. Chris Munro, take it away.
Absolutely. Stephen Marsden has just regrouped himself from that little incident before, and he's found himself up behind the Red Bull ZB of Jason McFadden. And he's all over the back, actually. He's probably driving in a little bit of anger, maybe in a little bit of sorrow at the moment for that mistake he made earlier. But he's all over the back of this Red Bull, and he's going to give Jason something to think about here going down into the Foster's Dip for the 27th time around this time around here in race 3. I think I just said the same thing twice, but let's not stop at the scene of the accident. My poor old brain is running on empty, but I'll tell you what's not running on empty, and it's Stephen Marsden's ticker. He will fight and fight till the end of this race as he makes his way up the inside of Jason McFadden, gets the move done here on the main straight. He's got his nose in front, and he will be maybe side by side here going through the sweeper. But who can get the nose in front first? And that's Stephen Marsden. He's done that comfortably. He'll get on the brakes and go about his merry way in 8th position.
Yes, and that will be Flat Pack Racing in 7th and 8th at this stage. So good team points here, but they'll both be wanting to advance their way further up the field, as they deserve to be in the pace department if they can keep it clean in Andrew Ferguson and Stephen Marsden for now. But crikey, it's all happening here. We've got people line astern, then we've got people yeeting it into everyone else. We've got guys dominating the field. You want everything, you've got it here at AK Racing for sure, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like at this stage, Cotter is just taking away the any sort of gap that he thinks from Tom Wilson. But Tom Wilson at this stage, sorry, I've just called that wrong. Tom Wilson is advancing on Matt Cotter. There is only 3 seconds between them. It used to be 5.5, ladies and gentlemen. So there might have been some lap traffic for Matt Cotter. But keep an eye on that gap as we come down. Guys in the YouTube comments land, if you see anything that we don't, please give us the heads up, or tell us how much you enjoy this racing format on the calendar here at this point in time. But just over halfway in this race as we speak. and we're just circulating around. It looks like Luke Newing and Ryan Hawkins are doing nothing because the timing tower is just completely fiddled me around there. And another beautiful lap there at this rate from Steve Scully. He's a new addition to our AK Racing team here and their Discord. So good to see you out there, Steve. We're all rooting for you, and practice makes perfect in these cars at any rate, for sure. At this stage, so keep it up, son. We're all rooting for you hard. That's a given at any way.
Just looking through his little info sheet he's given us for the commentary team. His favourite motorsport driver is James Courtney. So there you go. There's I don't know if there's too many who would say that James Courtney is their favourite driver, but there you go. There you go.
Maybe the missus is a bit of an incentive that James Courtney's getting around with at the moment. Yeah, that could be something.
Gee whiz, yeah. Not too bad at all. Unusual fact about you, or situation you've been in. How's this one from Steve Scully? Like my teammate, I'm single. I own a WRX and I only get hit up by men. Fantastic stuff.
I wonder if he vapes as well, the old Subaru team. Wonder if he's on the vape train as well. We'll have to find out from Steve. If he watches back this, give us an answer in our Discord chat, Mr. Scully, for sure. But they're always interesting to find out what our competitors find themselves in and different situations they've been in, and their on-track strengths and weaknesses. Sorry, getting dyslexic tonight. The heat is getting to me here in Victoria. It's about 27 degrees, probably about 46 in the room I'm in at the moment, commentating. And our number one supporter out in YouTube land, Bradsky Turby, his fan base, I hope are watching him at the moment. It seems like you haven't heard any comments from them, but silence is golden sometimes from Bradsky. So good luck to you, son. We'll have a look around the other bits of the circuit to see where you finish at this stage. With every gap sort of between 2 seconds and 5 seconds on track, it's just a bit of a lull, which we've seen plenty of times in real life, ladies and gentlemen. When a lull in proceedings just means that the kettle is boiling well and truly, and at some point it's just going to overflow, and there is going to be carnage left, right and centre. Not that we hope for that, but for the viewers at home, we hopefully it does happen, because it brings some entertainment for us here in the commentary box, and also on track for our drivers. Maybe a late safety car, maybe an alternate pit strategy that we see from someone up in front. Who knows where we sit at this stage, but geez, it's going to get fiery at some point, Chris Munro, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Just waiting for something to happen at the moment, but as we've seen in past broadcasts, something always does just send a spanner in the works, and it gives us a bit of action, something to commentate on. But here is Dan Jenkos on screen here. This is Matt Cotter's teammate here for Send and Defend Motorsport. He's been sim racing for 4 years. And he hails from sunny Melbourne, so he could even be in the house next door to you, Zach. You wouldn't know.
He could be.
Yep.
So he could be. And speaking of that, I hope his favourite driver is me on that list for sure, but unfortunately, I've looked at it and I'm nowhere to be seen. Mr. Jenkos, turn it up, son. We've got John Bauer, we've got Shane Van Gisbergen in there as well as his two favourite drivers, or name a few for sure. But welcome to the capital lockdown city of the world, in Victoria. A couple of years ago, Dan Jenkos, if you're out there, my friend, we should catch up for a beer sometime nonetheless.
Absolutely. Promoting the off-track romances as well as the on-track ones. And any of the drivers that want to put their favourite driver as either one of the commentators here, that will give you absolute points in our book. And you might even find yourself on screen constantly. So flattery goes a long way with us.
Incentivisation essential here at AK Racing.
Absolutely. Looking up and down the field, we might have a little battle on our hands here soon, with Ferguson making up a little bit of ground there. There goes Hawk. That's Newing.
Hawkins.
That's Newing. Where's he come from there?
We've completely missed that.
Yeah,
where he has come from.
Slid in from the other side of the track there. I think he might even have missed if he's come from where I thought he has, he might have missed a timing thing, and he's going to have to go back and get that sorted out. What is he doing here? He might have a hardware issue, because he's just turning right constantly. Look at this. I think he's having a bit of a wheel issue here.
That's a weird one for sure. I'm not sure what is going on there, the poor bloke.
Oh, no,
yes.
damage.
Oh, he's probably come adrift, I think, and yeeted himself off the track, and that is steering damage to the max.
Yeah.
You get any more luck than that on these supercars, Chris, at all. And I can't see any damage on the outside, so purely suspension damage. He's probably whacked the wall side on somewhere. Yeah, nothing really to curtail the steering lock issues that he has at the moment. He'll be coming into the pits to, I would say at this rate, that looks like a DNF for Mr. Newing. His night's gone from bad to worse, because that will be a long time in the pits with the Assetto Corsa damage model doing its work and the mechanics running overtime that we never see. But they'll be working feverishly in the background at some stage, I would say, unless there is a DNF for sure.
Yeah, poor old Luke Newing. The evening has gone from bad to worse for him. Hopefully, he can. Hopefully the mechanics can work their magic and get him back out on track circulating as soon as possible, because every point counts here at AK Racing. There's plenty of points still out there to be had if you can just get out there and circulate around. Even if it's in last, 18th position is worth points for you and your team. So you'll see. I know Luke is not one to rage quit, so he will be back out there if those mechanics get that problem sorted out. You can see him there at the end of the pit lane there, getting serviced at the moment. But I'll tell you what, Ferguson now has found a little bit of pace, and he has got Ryan Hawkins firmly in his sights here now. The gap is around 3 to 4 tenths now, and there's a little bit of lap traffic ahead for Hawkins to deal with. McFadden just getting out of the way nicely there, doesn't hold anyone up too much, and I think that's Dan Jenkos who took advantage of that. That was for position as well back there for 12th and 13th. Thank you very much, says Dan Jenkos. Yeah, McFadden will probably think twice about running off the road next time to let a blue flag pass. You might want to do that a bit more strategically.
We're all about safe redressing here, ladies and gentlemen, but that was probably a little bit too far at the sacrifice of your own position. You don't want to see that happen too much, but yeah, as you said, Ferguson is finding some pace out of nowhere. He's completely yeeted it, and he's into the wall, and that is it. That will be suspension damage. I would hope not for Andrew Ferguson there. Oh, geez, he's given up position there in Ryan Hawkins, so he will be spewing about that. Ryan Hawkins will now be giving a heavy sigh of relief. Because that was some pressure building there from Ferguson. As he nearly follows everyone off he does too, and that's it. That's Andrew Ferguson's sixth position battle off, because his compatriot is Stephen Marsden coming up flat behind him. Wondered there'll be some team communication just saying, go through, mate, and my tyres are absolutely rubbled up from all that sand. And it looks like Ferguson's got back on the freight train pretty quickly there and regaining some momentum.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there, and another commentator's curse to add to our collection tonight. We are quite the hoarders of commentators' curse. We're dead set giving him a rap. Yep, he's coming up behind Hawkins, and then he goes and bins it. So I think that deserves the Bin Chicken Award tonight for Andrew Ferguson. As you hear the Bin Chicken making his AK Racing debut there in the background. We might be hearing more from it as the series goes on. But both the Flat Pack Racing team cars pulling into the pits now. That's come from the race engineer, where they want both cars in. They're going to have to do some kind of double stack wizardry, but it's not beyond those mechanics there at all. So race on for those guys. McFadden now has come back behind Dan Jenkos after that cheeky little overtake that Jenkos put on McFadden earlier. And there you go. Jenkos runs deep. Oh, my goodness.
Again?
Yeah, he's gone deep.
We might turn the stream off, ladies and gentlemen. We're ruining everyone's night at the moment.
Yeah, it would have been just clean racing had we just shut our mouths the whole time. Marsden has come out of the pits in front of Ferguson, so maybe differing fuel strategies there from those guys. Marsden coming in behind and skipping him in the line, and is back out on track in front of Ferguson as we speak.
Yes, indeed, and that gives me the maths at the moment too of these soft tyres, only lasting about 25, 26 laps. So where are we going to find out where these guys come in, as Wilson's having to navigate some lap traffic there? And that will be Nick Mellor holding him up there at this point in time if he doesn't get out of the way quick smart, because Matt Cotter has got through everyone pretty well unscathed and a nice blue flag marker getting off the track there to get out of the way of this battle. But at the same time, does Nick Mallow say, no, I don't want to unlap myself, champ, I'm going to keep going for this, or does he let Wilson pass, which will be the etiquette thing to do at this stage? But that gap now, that has gone from 5 seconds between Cotter and Wilson all the way down to only 0.8 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. What has happened there? That is great racing and consistency from Wilson, if nothing else happened on track for Matt Cotter. But I'll probably say that lap marker did have something to do with it, Chris, if it's anything with the trend tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't quite catch what happened, but that gap is now right there under a second. Thomas Wilson might be just getting a little bit... there goes Matt Cotter off the track there in out of turn 2. He's side by side with Wilson. Wilson's going to take the lead of this race. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Cotter's going to try and fight it back up the inside here at Shell Corner. It's not going to happen yet. These guys are side by side going up into Champions Curve. Matt Cotter regains the lead of the race there, heading up towards Yokohama Bridge. Oh, he's gone wide. He's just dipped a couple of tyres off. He's just looking very shaky and unsecured here at the moment. Matt Cotter, he's got Wilson right up his clacker.
Wow, that is incredible. How do you regain yourself that much composure after going off? I'll never know. But that's just a credit to Matt Cotter at this stage. But Tom Wilson, I know he's vulnerable and a bit shaky under the wheel for sure. And he's had to back off there. He's put the brakes on because there was going to be a nose-to-tail accident there if that kept going on for that. But geez Louise, that was on for the for the ages between those two. And as I said earlier, these soft tyres are probably coming to the end of their life. So an unforced error from Cotter did happen to him in race 2, and that's exactly the same scenario. He commented that his tyres just gave up the ghost and said, "No, having enough" in turn 2. And geez, it's happened to him again, but this time without consequence. Luckily for Matt Cotter, but Wilson is on the charge. That is only a half a second gap between them, and he will be chomping at the bit to get past Cotter. Because that pit stop race is definitely on in the next couple of laps, I would say.
Yeah, I think what we were saying about 14 laps for a set of super softs, I'd imagine both of these guys have got their eyes on a brand new set of those for the last stint of this race, and we're up to about 17 laps to go in this race. So I'm tipping in about 3 laps' time we might see a bit of movement here from these front two to make that call and come in and get on those super softs. Or we might see it happen early. We might see one of these guys dip in sooner rather than later and get that undercut sorted, because while the other guy's out there circulating on the slower tyre, he can make a headway with a set of super softs on. There we go. That is exactly what's going to happen here. Matt Cotter's going to come in. He's going to chuck supers on for the last 16 laps of this race. Thomas Wilson's probably going to want to just come in at the end of this lap to cover him off, because the longer he circulates on those super softs is the longer he will have to catch Cotter when he finally makes his pit stop.
Yeah, correct too. But we did see that the overcut was pretty powerful. It was going to be pretty powerful there in race 2 from Tom Wilson. So maybe a bit of strategic call there, because if anything, it'll still take half a lap for these supers to come up to temp to get back on the pace, which will probably nullify any advantage or disadvantage. That won't help Matt Cotter going completely wide and off the track there at turn 1, and he will find himself with some rubble on those tyres. Not the best way to start your super soft stint. So we're only going to find out in about 30 or 40 seconds time, ladies and gentlemen, where Tom Wilson comes out in relativity to Matthew Cotter for the last stint of this race with 16 laps to go. Geez, I think at this rate the winner would have to be Tom Wilson at this stage on the tyre compound wear, and he's going to go for a one more time. That's Daft Punk style. Those softs must be lasting a bit longer on Wilson's tyres. He's happy with the Delta at this stage, although his last lap was a 106.5, and we've seen 104.5s at least from the super soft guys once that picture in those tyres comes up to full fruition. So it's just going to be interesting here. Maybe Wilson's left it a bit too late. We're only going to find out soon, Chris.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had my stopwatch on Matthew Cotter for that last pit stop, and it was a 31-second stoppage time. So I think there was maybe a little bit of a mistake in the pit lane there from Matt Cotter. Might have missed his marks when he came into the box itself, and maybe had to reverse back, because that's about 5 seconds longer than we saw him make that stop in the second race. Tom Wilson now, I think, is in the box seat. If he can pit here, he's got a 29-second advantage over Matt Cotter as we speak. There's a car around on the final turn. Oh, just enough space. Oh, my goodness, that was close. And I suspect we'll see Tom Wilson come in now to just cover off Cotter, because if you leave it any longer, that advantage is just disappearing. So Tom Wilson now in the pit lane. Can he make it out in front of Cotter? Let's find out where he is at the moment. We're going to get the chopper onto it so we can see the whole picture. He's coming up over the dogleg there now. We're going to get a bit of a view down the pit lane. Where is Thomas Wilson? He is moving. No, he's not moving. He's there. Now he's moving. He's out on the... Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is all going to be happening. Wilson's going to try and get off and cover that inside line. It's not going to happen because Matt Cotter's tyres are up to temperature. Wilson gets the return serve out the other end, but that warm tyre advantage is just too much to deal with for poor old Tom Wilson. I reckon if he'd come in that one lap ago, that might have been it for him. But as it is, and as it stands now, Matt Cotter is in the lead of this race. He has 9/10 to Tom Wilson behind. But Tom Wilson does have 2 laps of freshness in those tyres, and I think they will prove to be handy at the end of this race.
Oh, yeah, but on there, Chris. You couldn't have a better strategy call and a future call there for sure, because Tom Wilson, once those super softs come alive, he is absolutely rapping on those, and we've seen that happen tonight as well, where Cotter seems to slide the car around a bit, and the tyre degradation department percentage seems to go up a little bit on Cotter's side of the garage during a last battle super soft stint, but we'll find out at one stage or not, because one of them is either going to bin it, or both of them are going to bin it, or neither of them are going to bin it, and it's just going to be line astern. Whichever one happens, we'll find out.
Tell you what, we can just make them bin it by giving them a wrap with how things have been going tonight. So we'll just leave those guys to it at the moment. Ferguson is up behind Marsden, his teammate. This is for 6th and 7th, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of dinner coming up there into the microphone. But Ferguson is about 5/10. 5/10 up behind his teammate as Clayton Waters just takes it back to the pit lane. I think he might have been... That might be it for him tonight.
Yes, and also Luke Newing too. Luke Newing has given up the ghost, unfortunately. He has mentioned that he's had enough for the evening, which I probably don't put it past him. That's fair enough for this round at this stage. Unfortunate, but fair enough. As I spoke about 2 laps earlier, 104.5 already for Matt Cotter in the time department there. So he will be, unlike Donkey Kong, for another lap record if he can keep up the pace and momentum, because he's just bridged a 2-second gap already within a lap and a half over Tom Wilson. So that super soft tyre compound working very well for the ZB Commodore at this stage. And we've got the battle of the flat pack racing here between Fergo and Marsden. Now those two have not pitted yet, and they've come back out and they're still on the softs, so they're leaving it very long for the final stint, I would say, at this rate. Looks like at this stage that it's probably the latest of many people, apart from Hawkins and Mallow, to be on those super soft tyres, and also Adam Betts, who's sitting in 3rd at the moment. But that will be nullified because Scotty Garrick is sitting in 4th with only a 7-second gap between himself and Betts, so it could be a podium there for Pro Sim Centre tonight, Chris. That will be celebratory drinks for sure at the centre on Monday, and if that can be pulled off, that nonetheless.
You want to see it? We've got a couple of Scott Garrick fans in the chat actually tonight. We've got Thirsty there saying Scott Garrick the GOAT. So that's a pretty big rap there from Thirsty. So we'll give your man a bit of screen time at the moment. Scotty Garrick in that grimace-coloured Volvo with the Pro Sim Centre signage on the side. Very nice looking car. We've said it a few times. It's a beautiful looking livery with the sort of gradient effect there and shading to the black at the front. Nice little PSC light covers there. Very nice to see. And what kind of animal is that? Is it a deer or a moose or what?
That's a deer, mate. Yeah,
that's a deer.
Looks like a pig. Looks like a with big deer antlers. I'm not sure what's going on there. That's definitely a hybrid of some animal description.
Some sort of deer, but I tell you what, the kind of deer I have is no idea. So we'll keep that to the one of my best. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I will be wrapping up the stream now. It doesn't get any better than this.
Speaking, it doesn't get any better. You're looking at the best racing league for the V8 Supercars in Australia and New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak. And speaking of battles that are going to be happening soon and best racing, that gap has now decreased half a second between Wilson and Cotter. It was nearly at 2 seconds before, now it's only 1.5. So a bit of hype train coming along here for maybe the final period of this race as we see the laps ticking down with 10 to go. But our man Adam Betts is racing around very nicely at the point in third position on the soft compound. Jason McFadden is doing his best at the moment in that Red Bull Ampol Racing ZB, and he seems to be circulating nicely. A 13th position is a good result for him with everything that's happened to him. I've seen him down as far as 18th so far on the timing chain tonight. So good on you, Mr. McFadden. That'll keep Brian happy for sure at this stage of the race. And we're looking back in the pack there as well. Our two compatriots in flat pack still nearly line astern there in Marsden and Virgo. That is the closest battle on track at this current point, with a fair bit of a gap between Virgo and Nick Mello, with 6.2 seconds behind these two having a crack. And we'll jump on the chopper cam for a circuitry lap around Oran Park between the two Volvos. They're both looking very yellow and blue, but one with Terratech and one with IKEA. So who's going to win the battle there in the furniture or the land department? We'll find out at the end of the race. But these two have had a great round so far. It'd be great for the championship points nonetheless. Flat pack racing, there is a championship point battle on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just sheep stations between the individual this season. We do have a very heated and tight battle there for the team championship. So this is doing them great favours for now, and we hope that doesn't commentate against either of them. So we might actually get off them really quickly here at the moment, Chris Munro. Get the chopper cam onto someone else before we stuff up these guys' races after everything that's happened tonight. It's just been off its chain, the old commentator curse. We haven't seen it this bad, I reckon, ever.
No, we can't avoid the curse here at the moment. It's dead set. Fair dinkum in dead set in the fair dinkum department. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my goodness, it must be getting late. But James Claypole is up behind Adam Betts here, but that is not for position, ladies and gentlemen. He is just trying to unlap himself. But James Claypole is on the super softs, and he's well within his right to unlap himself with Adam Betts running around on the soft, so he's going to have a little bit of a pace deficit here. It's hard to know what to do there for James. Does he just send it? You don't want to be that guy. But we'll see what he does here. But actually, looking forward to the front of the pack, that gap is now under a second. Tom Wilson is on a charge. He has just set a 104.6, plays a 104.9, so he's about three tenths faster on that last lap alone, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 7 laps to go in this race, and I think this is heating up to be a little bit of a battle to the line.
Oh yeah, very much so. And it always comes to the last couple of laps here at 8K Racing for anyone in first, second. It doesn't matter where you are on the field. We saw 9th and 10th have a 500ths of a second battle to the line in race 2. That was incredible to witness on the timing screen there. But yes, Wilson making the most of those two lap newer super soft compound tyres that he has on. So that will hamper him for the latter 2 stages of the race in Matt Cotter. If Tom Wilson has anything to cheer about, that is where he wants to be, in position 1 and by the checkered flag as we come through to circulate for 6 laps to go. And that looks like Hawkins has come amiss as well. He's decided to take the off-road route around Oran Park. Not the best place to go, but nonetheless he's still retained 7th at least, but that has promoted Marsden and Ferguson to 6th and 5th in the proceedings, with Nick Mallow now looking at his lucky stars and going, you can't believe you can see this guy in front of him. He was about 7 or 8 seconds behind the next car in front at one point. Now he's only within 5 tenths of a second between himself and Hawkins. So the timing screams and the confidence will be lining up inside Mr. Mellow's brain at this stage. So fingers crossed he can do something and take advantage of the Hawkins mishap.
Well, there goes Hawkins. He has just gone really wide there at the exit there and almost lost his Volvo, and that gives Nick Mello that position there. Ryan Hawkins really struggling at the moment. I think those tyres have probably had enough, and so he is really struggling. He's gone from 5th to 8th in the space of not long. We have a change for position here in the... no, we don't. No, we do. Well, so Marston going slowly there. Ferguson behind. Okay, no, we do have a bit of a technical issue there with the timing tower. As you can see, it's gone back to normal now. That gap
Flipping
is
around.
Yeah, it's flipping around. We're at about 7/10 here for the lead. Tom Wilson just wants to stay in touch with Matt Cotter because with every lap that comes closer to the end of this race, Thomas Wilson's advantage of having those younger tyres will get greater and greater. So I think at this time he's got to... Oh, look at that gap. It's down to 4/10, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
It's all starting to happen here. We've got 5 laps to go here for our feature race of the night here at Oran Park for the last time this season. We've got 5 laps to go, ladies and gents, and the gap is 6/10, holding strong, and I suspect this gap is just going to keep getting smaller and smaller as the race goes on. It's as you see these guys taking liberal to the track limits over the aluminium O'Brien dog leg.
Dog leg
is what it's called, the dog leg. They're making a bit of a straight line out of it, so it's not much of a dog leg when these guys are concerned. We're going to just jump on with Wilson here and see how he's going. You can see the look in his eyes there through the helmet. That is the look of a man who is determined to get past Matt Cotter for the win of this race. The gap is steady at about half a second. Matt Cotter well and truly driving in his mirrors now. He can see that green Nissan closing in behind, and the stress levels are rising. Bit of a lock up there too from Matt Cotter. I think the pressure is starting to get to him, but I tell you what, these guys are the best drivers in the country, so you won't see a hell of a lot of things that will try and rock these guys from doing their thing, doing their craft. And Matt Cotter is one of the craftiest drivers out there.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Chris. As you go sideways there too, definitely doing the craft and art of sliding his way through the field at the moment. That is incredible. I love how he drives. It's just so fun to watch, but it's not the quickest way around at the latter stages. Maybe those super softs are getting a bit too hot. Maybe he forgot to change the temperatures, or the pressure, in the pit. Maybe it's a strategy call, but Wilson will be licking his chops and hoping that by the time he finishes this race, he is in front and he can go do that 4.20 that he is frothing on his car at the moment exponentially on the outside of the circuit, ladies and gentlemen. Once he has exited the server, obviously. But he'll be chomping at the bit at the moment for a race win. Won't be thinking about anything else other than that. But it looks like at the moment we've got a good battle here because Scotty Garrick is flicking through the order. And he is only with up for second of Adam Betts, who is on soft due. So those super soft tyre advantage from Garrick is paying dividends at this stage. It could be on like Donkey Kong here, as I said, in Pro Team Centre. They will be singing for the champagne and also for the chockies if he can pull off a podium finish tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a little fan club in the chat here cheering him on. Scotty Garrick looking for his, I'm going to say it's his maiden podium here at AK Racing. So this is a very good result for him tonight if he can get the job done. Wilson right up behind Matt Cotter, mind you. It is 2/10 the difference. He has a little bit of a suck here going down into turn 2. We've seen Matt Cotter vulnerable into this turn, locking the tyres up at a regular rate here over the night. There's another one chiming in for Scotty Garrick. Everyone wants to see it. We're going to go and give him a look here because they are coming down the pit straight now. He might just be on the back end of maybe a little bit of a suck, but hopefully around the next time around he might get a bit more of that. Adam Betts very squarely under brakes. He's got a mirror full of Volvo behind him, and Scotty Garrick is on the faster compound at the moment. We'll keep flicking between these two battles as they happen because we don't want to miss any of the action here as Thomas Wilson is on a late charge here, and he does have the advantage of these younger tyres. And look at him right up the back of Matt Cotter here. He's going to want to take this wide, get a bit of a late apex and slingshot his way down this front pit straight here. He's well and truly in the suck. Matt Cotter doing a bit of F3 swerving, get around the track to try and break that toe, and it seems to have done the trick this time. Very good driving there from Matt Cotter. He will last another lap around. This is lap 55 of 56. Looking back in the field, Scotty Garrick definitely has a bit of the toe here this time. No, he's just cooked it on the exit. That's the end of that story. Oh, I'm sorry for everyone cheering on Scotty Garrick at home. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Oh no, disaster. One, and then maybe possible tribulation and excitement up at the front here for first and second. Crikeys, this is close between Cotter and Wilson. This is dead set tyre life battle here at the moment. Cotter is struggling big time. He needs to flick that brake bias back a few notches for sure. That front left is absolutely dead as a doornail on his car. But Wilson has bided his time beautifully here. That overcut he tried did not succeed, but it actually will pay dividends in the long run here as we come around to the final turn of the lap, and this will be the penultimate lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the closest he ever get. There's going to be another F3 sort of style battle here, but Wilson doesn't get sucked in, so to speak, to that style of move between himself and Cotter. And now it's just all under braking here for the both of them on the last lap of this race. It is going to get very spicy. Cotter navigates his way around that turn 2 very well. But looks like a nice bit of traction there from Wilson too to get the whole shot, and he's swerving left and right to get under the actual collar of Cotter that make those mirrors pretty full of a Castrol Nissan. And Cotter has just braked too deep there, and Wilson's followed suit. We are coming up over into the Yokohama Bridge section. Anyone's game, bit of a lock-up from Thomas Wilson. Oh, this is all on like Donkey Kong here for the last one. As we come around the final into the, I can't remember what the corner is, but the left and the right, very tricky section of the racetrack here. Wilson's still about 2 tenths behind, and that is an unforced error from Cotter, and that will give Tom Wilson an invite up the inside, and they've tinned it, and that's it. That's all over. Cotter manages to save it, I think. Has he? He has not. He has gone onto the rabble, but they're going to redress that, and that will be line astern. But where is our third and fourth guys? They're too far behind. That is not on for them at all for any position gaining, and that will be Matt Cotter coming across the line, I would say, unless there's a battle here for the last bit. Oh, I'm going to straight. The chopper cam is all over it. Photo finish coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Well, who will be the winner here? And that is Matt Cotter for the win. 700ths of a second, mind you. Geez, that nearly ended the disaster for the both of them. What a save by Matt Cotter to come through with that victory there. Tom Wilson all over the back of him and too far in. That will leave Adam Betts to take position 3. That's his best result, I would say, in AK Racing, if I'm not mistaken. Scotty Garrick, absolute gallant in defeat there for the podium, but only 9 tenths of a second behind him on the Super Softs in 4th. Stephen Marsden is still circulating at this stage to come through at 5th position. If he doesn't bin it, he will get that. He does. Ferguson for 6th position at this stage is 7 seconds behind him. Nick Mallow still 1.7 seconds behind him. Hawkins comes through to take the 8th position. Brody Sharp and Claypole to round out your top 10. But what a finish there between these two gentlemen. Nearly disaster for the both of them, but gentlemanly like racing there from Tom Wilson to redress that position. Adam Best does some celebratory donuts on the dirt there. Well earned there for himself. Stephen Marsden's had a great round. Absolutely perfect to see him with some good results there, as has his compatriot Andrew Ferguson. Great battle in racing and some celebrity style drifts there for Ferguson. But what a finish to that race, Chris Munro. Geez, we held our breath.
Yeah, I just love love how these guys just keep dishing up action for us to commentate on. It just makes our job and life so much easier. And I tell you what, it's got to be something to behold when you're watching this kind of thing on YouTube for free, mind you, on a Sunday night. There's nowhere better to be than AK Racing YouTube channel here on a Sunday night. The racing is virtual, but the action is very real. We've got Brandon Pierce in 11th. Dan Jankos, everyone seems to have left the server here. We're going to find somewhere to look. Mick Fadden in 13th. Duff in 14th. Turby in 15th. Steve Scully, the last of our runners who did not DNF, in 16th. And we had a fairly high attrition rate there for the rest of the guys. A fair few DNFs tonight. But overall, an absolutely cracking round. And who do we think deserves the driver of the day, Zach?
Oh, geez, I would say just based on consistency and coming back from everywhere, I would have to say Tom Wilson, just for a bit of a difference in opinions there. Matt Cotter, obviously, just stellar driving from himself, dominating realistically the round. Andrew Ferguson with a great second place in there, but to me, it's Tom Wilson. What about yourself, Chris?
I'll have to say it was so hard to choose. I'm still trying to figure it all out at the moment. I think I'm going to go Andrew Ferguson with his maiden podium here at AK Racing. So I'm going to give that driver of the day for me was Andrew Ferguson. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go and jump in the driver's channel for a bit of a post-race interview with our podium. So bear with us while we get that all sorted out.
Yeah, it is. It's Newcastle.
Well, we got
Yeah,
Jenkos in
100%.
here. We're going to just move him out. Sorry, Jenkos, you did not make it into the top three. We've got Adam Betts, we've got Matt Cotter, and we've got Thomas Wilson on the line at the moment. Absolutely fantastic racing up the front there from you boys. Coming into that final stint on the Super Softs, we saw Matt Cotter come in early, maybe 2 laps before Thomas Wilson. Now, Matt, were you feeling the burn of those tyres towards the end of the race? Because that was about 16 laps you went on those Super Softs.
Let's just say it was a bit slidey towards the end.
Yeah, we could definitely see it here in the commentary box. We were watching the arse end of that ZB slide around all over the place. Tom, were you were sort of confident, I would imagine, knowing that your tyres were 2 laps younger coming into the end of that race?
Yeah, I was more like pacing myself, trying not to stress them too much, and like hopefully I'd reel him in, and I did reel him in, but it was just yeah. Bit optimistic on my part. I don't know. It was probably the last time I would have got him, because if I followed him through there, I don't think I would have been up to get him at the last corner. So
the old Senderoony, in other words.
Yeah, the old SVG.
But yeah, they're very good, gentlemanly like by yourself there to wait and redress that position. But obviously, line astern for the finish there. Only 700s between the both of you. Matt Cotter taking the win there from yourself there, Wilson. But talk about trials and tribulations and celebratory stuff. Mr. Betts, what a drive, mate.
Yeah, no, the first race got put all down all the way to the back. Second race worked up a bit more, so I had the help of the reverse grid starting first. Wasn't able to keep up with Cotter and Wilson, but you know, it was good to just chill back there for a bit. But man, I went with the wrong strategy. I finished on softs when Super's softs, and Garrick was on me at the end. But yeah, managed to hold it out for third, so happy with that.
It was a very good drive. It was a very, very mature drive. You stayed out of all the carnage and whatnot that happened. But I know you said the wrong strategy, and it obviously it could have gone either way between yourself and Garrick. But consistency pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, at a track like this with so many bumps and corners, it's definitely easy to make a mistake, and you'll get punished for it. So yeah, happy, especially with the long break I've had, to come back and still be in good form.
It's been great to see between you, sir, and the rest of our podium sitters here in that. Wilson, I gave you driver of the round. Chris didn't want to agree with me, but that's why we have opinions, because none of them are right or wrong. But you definitely had some positions to gain back between race 1 and 2 there after some off-track adventures, so to speak, and some mishaps with maybe some blue flag intervention and distractions there. But driver of the round goes to yourself. Chris, who was your driver round again? I can't remember.
I gave it to Andrew Ferguson because of his drive in race 2. That is his debut or his maiden podium here at AK Racing. So that's something not to be shied at. So I thought I'd give him a bit of love with the driver of the day on my end. Not to take anything away from of your choice and Mr. Wilson, but
no, that's fine.
It is
either way. It is what it is. Either way, though, supreme domination realistically from yourself, Matt Cotter. A beautiful example of how to drive under pressure, and then also not under too much pressure as well. But that was some slippy slidey action. You got some screen time there with the live on board, because we didn't speak, we didn't commentate or curse anyone. Our curse was very strong tonight, that's for sure. But lucky I didn't catch any of you two out too much. Wilson, I caught you out a bit. But thank you very much, gentlemen. Excellent round, and thank you for sticking around to having a chat to us, and onwards and upwards for the next one.
Thanks. Cheers, lads.
I think that is going to conclude our coverage for tonight's race. Thank you to everyone for sticking around and watching all the action unfold. It's been a bloody handful to try and keep up with all these battles on track, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, my word, Chris Munro. But geez, it was full of everything. We got every single set of circumstances you want in racing. And speaking of racing, you don't get any better here at AK Racing, that's for sure. With our V8 series, we've got a couple of other series as well. Our Wednesday Cup every Wednesday, 90s V8 Supercars as well. If you like our Supercar series, you'll love the 90s V8 Supercars. Going back in time there with some retro cars for sure. And don't forget, going way back to the old Australian Touring Car Championship days with all the VLs, VKs, you got Jaguars, BMWs, Nissans, Mazdas, the lot. If you want everything here at AK Racing, we've got it. But yes, tonight was no exception, Chris Munro. What a round of racing we had, for sure. And it's definitely a championship battle now with Matt Cotter doing what he did tonight. It'll be interesting to see exactly where he sits. But nonetheless, that was great to watch.
Yeah, certainly was. I hope everyone at home was as entertained as we were up here in the commentary box. But I think we've got to chuffle off to the AK private jet because we are off to somewhere for the next Wednesday.
Sandown.
Off to Sandown for the next one.
Sandown, mate.
So we don't need a jet to get there. We could just start walking, I assume.
Yeah, well, we got the push bikes out. We went over our budget with the jet over to New Zealand, so push bikes are it now, and the bus was paid on the credit card, so it looks like we'll be hitchhiking our way back down to sunny Melbourne, Victoria, to Sandown, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our second and final enduro round of this season with a 2-hour non-stop event at Sandown. That is going to bring everyone into some form for sure, and maybe some disasters along the way, but that is exciting nonetheless in 2 weeks' time. So if you want racing, you got it. If you want the best commentary, you've got it. If you want the best Discord league and the most open and friendly place to be, you've got it all here at AK Racing. But we can't wait to see you in 2 weeks' time at Sandown. But stick around this Wednesday night because we have another round of Wednesday Cup in the MX5s coming to you. And that will start live Wednesday at this rate. And I can't remember where exactly it is. I think it's going to be at Townsville, from
Correct.
memory.
Yep, up the street circuit there in sunny North Queensland.
Sunny North Queensland street circuit in Townsville. That's going to bring some excitement for sure. But I've been Zach O'Reilly. Chris Munro has been himself. We thank you for sticking around and enjoying our stream. Give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe to our channel here at YouTube Land. Come and join us in the Discord with the link above there on the right-hand side of your screen. But for tonight and this sunny 19th of November, we are over and out.